Peace, everyone. Snacking on a live these days, as always. I'm not even gonna tell y'all what I'm messing with today. I done mixed up slight. I ain't gonna tell y'all today. Either way, moving forward, I am here today to broadcast. We're gonna speak about my upcoming tour, and also mention and share the cities from my upcoming tour, undocumented to share visually, but I'm gonna verbally share my 2022 tour that's going to start in the spring. And here today with me is Ramutef Qeb, and he is a part of two of the events that I have on my 2021 tour, which starts August 21st, I continue to be told. I have a lot going on, so I'm like, I don't know when it is. I have these notebooks, and I have one for each city, except for Washington, D.C., because I had it and it was done by the time I started with these other three cities, Pittsburgh, Ohio, and Detroit. So I have the dates on the front of these, and that's how I know when I'm doing, unless I'm sending out a flyer and I have all my reservations set. But other than that, I can't tell you when. Except Detroit, I know that's October 16th because that's the day before my youngest daughter's birthday. Other than that, I can't. So anyway, Ramutef, you here with us?
Yeah, just give me a few minutes.
Okay, take your time. Take your time. All right. So again, peace to everyone. And moving forward, let's see. So I'm also going to share a few things to get us started, give people time to come on in the room. So last night, Ramutef Qeb and I, we were live, and we shared this, dang, I guess I'll watch this movie. I heard a lot. I heard about this Black Panther, so on and so forth. And Ramutef was sharing some things with me about Wonder of the World, a plant, a herb, which he'll share a little on if he will. So either way, during this I say like 48 minutes into it, YouTube kicked me out. Said I violated I don't know what they said, a violation. I'm like, how? I mean, I already knew, I mentioned it in the beginning of the broadcast that they might kick it out. I was prepared, but the reasoning, I was like, seriously? Seriously? There's no way. Something about some spam or something. I'm like, this is not spam. It's not spam. So either way, and also Facebook had kicked us out. So I had shared with everyone that I have this broadcast document. I have it downloaded. So I am having a viewing. I'm going to have a Zoom meeting for those that are interested. So if you're interested in watching the full of the broadcast, where I was watching the movie real time with real time reactions and all that other stuff, you can inbox me and I will go ahead and set you up with the link to the Zoom meeting and have a watch party there. So I'm setting up things in the meantime, and I'm right now scheduling my own timeline unless I get like a unanimous average of when everybody wants to watch it, and then we'll go from there. Right now, I know for sure it'll be Tuesday or after. I'm not really done with that, but the more feedback I get, it'll help me shape things. And let's see. So yeah, inboxing, we'll do that. So yeah, we watched this movie, and you know, I don't know, we doing thumbs up, thumbs down. What's this? Who is that? Siskel and Ebert, those movie back in the day. I don't know where they at today, but back in the day, they were the movie critics. And I'm probably, I don't know. I know I'm getting the Ebert part right, but y'all roll with me. Either way, this movie for me, it was like on a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 6. I wouldn't watch it again. It didn't move me either way. To me, it was just another movie. It was in just another movie section. I'm not like, oh, dang, I wish I would have watched this sooner. Or dang, I wish I would have watched this when everybody else watched it. I could take it. I could leave it. That's my viewpoint on the Black Panther movie overall.
So you get thumbs up and a thumbs down.
Oh, there's a thumbs. I'd give it a thumbs down. One thumbs down, not 2, but I give it a thumbs down. Anything I will give it credit for,
I'll give it 1.
He got you on that. So yeah, you want to watch that? Let me know, and I'll get you the link to it. So also coming up, Mother Matriarch Salima Ellis and I have not forgotten you all. We are coming again with part 2 of Black and White Are Not Colors. We are currently editing and finalizing some things, so that will be scheduled soon. So if you missed part 1, go on my page, check it out. It's there. Prepare yourself for part 2. So here is my community event dates. We have Washington, D.C., which is where I'm going first. August 21st, I'll be there. And Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, I'll be there September 4th. Columbus, Ohio, September 18th. Detroit, Michigan, October 16th. For more information, there's my Gmail account, mkdtnt@gmail.com. And again, if you want to reach me any other manner, of course, there's Facebook. And yeah, Facebook, you can hit me up in Messenger. That's the only other place you can, unless you have my phone number, you could call me. That's cool too. So today we're going to be talking about these events in fuller detail. Ramutef, you have some, oh, hold on, you're here now. So share with everyone who you are. Tell us about yourself.
You hear me?
Yes.
Ramutef Qeb. I am a student of Teshuvah and keeper of time. I'm also a master astrologer for the Netru Talk. I am a person of human practice. I like to study them and apply them to our daily use. You can find me on Facebook as Ramutef Qeb. You can find me on Instagram as Ramutef Qeb. Ramutef_Qeb.
Gratitude. All right. So, my snack over here is brown in nature. So if you see some, it's my snack. Nothing more. Needs to be something less. That's all I gotta say about that. All right. So first stop on my tour this year is Washington, D.C. And so this tour actually started out in another manner. And I'm here today to talk about some things. So we're going to talk about it. All right. So originally this event was set up to be a bus lecture tour. I was going to be the driver. There are going to be lecturers because I can't drive and lecture. So I asked somebody to come on the team and lecture, and I drive and add in value, of course, as we know I do, where I can. And, sometimes poke my nose where it shouldn't be, but it was there. It was there. Either way, it turned out. I'm doing this lecture tour with others, such as Ramutef Qeb, and we have Sharice Rita Messiah Code here. She is a part of one event. She is part of one of the events as well. So we'll talk about that later. And also Peace, Power, Balance, and Wholeness to M-Town Vet. That's him. I know it is. Okay, so yeah, this tour right here is special to me because this city, because it's my first lecture tour. And Also, I have a lot of, what is it? Relationship, a lot of some different type statuses in Washington, D.C. So I will be doing my share of other type things while I'm there. So I'm actually looking forward to and glad that this is the first place that I'll be touching down. And to follow up, let's have some balance. Ending the tour, I'll be in Detroit, which is where I receive all types of love and energy and light, and just, I'm still vibing off of when I was in Detroit the first time for a lecture tour. So I will be having Detroit as my last stop for that reason. I want to just wrap it up, round it out. And we'll have Columbus, we'll have Pittsburgh and Columbus in between. So Washington, D.C. Now, this is the first time I've announced this publicly. Washington, D.C., as mentioned in the banner, will be the famous writer that I'm speaking about in the banner is Langston Hughes. So we will be visiting some notable landmarks that's in regards relationship to Langston Hughes. And also on this tour, there will be pamphlets handed out so that people they know where we're going before we get there, but only those who have tickets. And speaking of tickets for this, I have a few left tickets for this event. Did I say it right? Okay, yeah. Tickets for this event will August 14th no longer be on sale. I have things to arrange and prepare for. So August 14th will be the Saturday before the event and allows me time to make all adjustments I need for those who will be in attendance. So August 14th, books, bikes, bags, etc. End of the day, no more tickets on sale after that. All right. Ramutef, you have something you want to share?
No, I was gonna say the same thing. Like, definitely, people get your tickets for that one because it's going to be a very interesting lecture, just the learning and just the cause, because we have books or asking for donations for books when it comes to those who have books. It's going into the drive that we're having so we can do the youth, because a lot of the information that we have already means, from my point of view, is it's time to let that go. Because you already met someone else. Um, on the back, definitely search for it. Mail, definitely get it. It's definitely going to be an interesting. What's the right word to put it? Very interesting and very powerful event, no doubt. You able to hear me? All right. But yeah, definitely on. Oh yeah, and then also, go ahead.
You were sounding choppy,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it's me. I was checking the video, so yeah, there's some choppiness sometimes. Just want you to know, but continue.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to make sure. I'm trying to make sure I get like the right signal.
Okay.
So I can stop with the topic. What about now? What about now?
Good so far.
Good. And then also during this week of the event will be my week of my solar return. For me, it's gonna be a joyful event because on August 10th is the sign of Leo. So a lot of us Leos who's about to be in the cultural world, we're about to turn up, definitely.
Good. So we having an after party. We having a books, bikes, bags, etc. after party to celebrate your solar return.
Mm-hmm.
We could do that. We could hook that up. Definitely. And then that, since tickets go off sale August 14th, that gives me a week to do stuff in regards to the party.
Yay.
We could do that. Okay. I'm taking notes, making notes. All right, definitely. So also, yes, there have the main thought for this stop right here in DC, is to promote literacy awareness. And I'm making an effort to promote it in places other than DC. So I may not speak about it, but I'm working on it right now. I'm also working on a global scale project, and it is taking me to Brazil. So I'm on my way to Brazil. I got to brush up on my Portuguese and my salsa, maybe do some things. I'm going there. There's this children's project, and I definitely have it in my plans to share that information on my platform as well, so that anyone who's interested can go with me to Brazil, because we talked about some trips together on my broadcast at the RenPet in Boston. Marcia was on that broadcast, as well as Mintat, and we talked about us getting out of our environments and our neighborhoods and out and about. So I know Egypt was on the list, and a few bed and breakfasts or so, but definitely right now Brazil is my primary target area. So I'm headed there. So, or you can go another time. You don't have to go when I go. And all information I will forward to you if you're interested, and you can go in your own time. And for those who are not able to go, then there are other ways you can contribute monetarily. You can send items, physical items. There are a need for things that are there. And most times, like I know in my plans for Costa Rica, it is cost less and it's a little more efficient. And when the people come to visit, they bring it with them versus having it come through the postal mail system. So there's all types of things you can give. You can donate items, like for this event, people have donated books. So it is to promote literacy awareness. And I recently had a broadcast on abortions and addressing the hypocrites. If you missed that, go check it out. It's on my channel as well. I just have this thing about children and life. And, I have 5 children. I have 12 grandchildren. So it's a part of me. For some reason right now, this growth in that area has come to me, and it's continuing to come, such as this project in Brazil where I'm headed to. So I am embracing all of that growth. I am embracing all of that change, and I am doing my part, and sometimes maybe doing what some would call the most to get the point across that our children are important. And also this evening, I have a broadcast at 8 p.m. and it is in regards to COVID and our children's education and their schooling. So check me out, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for that. Also, as I mentioned in Detroit, when I was there for the lecture, I had my granddaughter with me, and it was in that moment, that time in Detroit, that I realized my intention for her was magnified, that she sees and gets out in the world. And it was magnified by the unity of the sisters, the women, the mothers, the goddesses, the queens in that atmosphere, and how we came together. They came and supported me, and everything worked, and it was in harmony. There was balance. There was no friction. There was not any cattiness. There wasn't any fights. There wasn't any, and that was important to me. And for me, that was a turning point, I'm going to say, that I realized, as far as living the life that I am speaking of. And I'd like to continue to project out as much as I can, and have everyone who will join me in the support of our children. And it is very necessary to me that we do this. So, if hearing about children and their wellness and well-being and is a problem for anybody, y'all might as well leave this channel right now, because I'm going to be speaking on it greatly. I have a feeling it's going to get talked about. All right, so what else I want to share about Washington, D.C.? Oh, so we will be on bikes. The bike rental is $8. You can get your bicycle the day of the event. Some people will be walking. Some people will be skateboarding, they'll do how they feel. I only ask that, speaking of children, this is one event where the children don't come because of how we're moving around and we're on the streets and in the streets and on sidewalks. And it, to me, is not safe. And seeing as how it's my event, I would feel responsible if something happened to a child. So I would prefer the children do not come to this event. You will have pamphlets, so you will have take the pamphlets home and share them with your children. And I would prefer that be the way that you share this lecture tour stop with your children. All right, Ramutef, you have something to share?
Personally, I'm still looking for my rollerblades.
All right.
That's what I want to ride. I mean, if I get a bike, I get a bike. I want to get back to the roller. That was like something that was like true to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my story and see, this is, due to military mostly, but I grew up out there just a little bit. It was like for a year, so, but I remember it very greatly how the individuals I was around out there, and like a lot of them, they're trying to date but I wasn't worried about it. But the thing that brought to my attention to read more, because I started um, um, Goosebumps, and one of my other favorite books was called The Animals during that time period I was out there. So, and then as you're bringing this forward and bringing this awareness to a lot of our children are deficient in literature. It's definitely close to myself. Individuals were definitely on me about that, because every time I was to read, my reading skills at that level was um how you say of average, but my mom will always tell me you like to sing when you read.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, so my mom was like, first it was the pausing for each word in a sentence, then it went to from there to singing the whole freaking sentence, and now it's just more so read it, apply it, read it again, apply it, then move on.
Mm. Okay.
This is interesting. That's why myself personally, that's why I'm coming, because like but as a story I just give everyone, that's it's definitely near to me. So just seeing that, it's something I definitely want to be a part
Okay. I've heard you read several times. I've not heard any a hum or, but if I hear it, I know I ain't gotta ask why is he singing it.
of.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, yeah.
And peace to Kathleen Williams. Peace to all of you here. Peace to everyone. All right. Now we will talk about. I think that's all I wanted to share for Washington D.C.
Mm.
Yeah, that was it. That's it. All right. So next we have Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Now, Ramutef Qeb is also on this flyer because he is assisting me with this event. And I would say really he's doing he's doing a bulk of the work, 80%, 90% of the work. That's what I would say. That's what I'm saying. Um, Ramutef, share with us now. Yeah, talk to us about the personal birth star readings. And I'm sure everyone is already, if you're not, it's okay. I'm sure he'll touch on it before we leave on personal birth star readings. Now, I know from studying with you when we were in Boston that you are in a section that I didn't know you spoke on or you worked with. So it's new to me. It may be something you've always done. Just like I found out in Boston, you make shea butter. I mean, things, if we can't unleash ourselves like on a table, just here I am. We find out things over time.
Mm.
So I know we talked and you had mantras in regards to, in relations to chakras, and also something about our behaviors, like our negative aspects in regards to our opposite gender parent, and some things like that. Will you be speaking or managing those individual readings at this event? And
No.
could you elaborate more on what I'm talking about? Because you know what I'm saying. The people's like, oh, what is she talking about? Talk to us about what I'm talking about.
All right. So, as far as personal readings go, I'm still debating if I want to do that. I'm not gonna lie to you, because it's a
Okay.
lot of information that I'm giving at that present moment. It's bad enough that I'm about to tell you your true self. Now I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna try to give you some stuff that's gonna add or upgrade to that. So that's a lot of information. But I'll see how, if I can collect enough energy, like spirit bomb wise, Goku wise, then I'll definitely what I'm about to explain next. I'll definitely bring that about. So
Okay.
definitely this is the event that myself and Joy Allen are hosting for what I call the Netru Ta Tep. So Netru Ta and Tep is how they, what people will know as Medu Neter or hieroglyphs. So Netru, I understand, is meaning divine or divine beings. Ba means star. Tep means time. So if you put it all together, divine, star, time. The personal readings is more so for those who buy their or get their tickets either online or in person. My duty as a spiritual advisor is to give you that information that is needed for a person to not be held back. When I say not be held back, is that a lot of us have these things within us, or these limiters, or these limitations that we have, that we keep ourselves from doing the things that we must do. So my job is to help bring light to that situation by using any and all means necessary in the world of divination. Because everyone has a different style, but at the same time, if you're able to connect to a person the way that I would like to connect to everyone else, I always have my magic words that I say before I begin the process. So if you get your tickets, you definitely get what is called a written reading from me, as well as if you want to sit down and discuss, we can always Facebook, Zoom chat, whatever. When it comes to the information that she was speaking about. So as I'm going through my studies of learning different divination practices, I came across a lot of interesting interesting findings that some people may know of, some people might not know of. So when it comes to the ones that she's talking about, it's on the level of for myself learning how to incorporate or do readings based off of cosmological deities in the sense of the Netchers or the Orishas, so on and so forth. So as I was going through my findings, I was able to go through certain different um, esoteric practices. We'll say one for the Goetia, and then dealing with the Golden Dawn, and then also dealing with what is called the Mara de Lagoon, which is dealing with the Lukumi's practice of casting shells, Corey shells. So as I'm studying all these interesting divination practices, I was able to come up with a way or a secret that's dealing with not only the tree of life or the Kabbalah, but dealing with the correlation of the Kabbalah or the tree of life, lining up with your chakras, lining up with your Kundalini. So as I'm going through a person's chart, I was able to line up for 12 houses. Each and every 12 houses is specifically a specific location within the tree of life. And as I want to present it at the event, I'm definitely going to just speak just mildly on it today. So a lot of people don't understand that your natal chart is also a way of mapping out a key that's within the tree of life, or what they call the Kabbalah Sephiroth tree, so on and so forth. So each person has their own specific key. And the way to do it, I'm going to teach those at the event. I don't want to give it all out there, but at the same time, I'm going to show you how to apply what is called dealing with dogma in a sense, the angels and the demons that we all know under the Goetia. There's a one particular demon and angel that resides in you, and when it comes to dealing with the revelations and things of that nature, you know that there are seven trumpets and seven seals. So what I'm offering people, if they want to go further, is that I'm offering you um, the knowledge of knowing one of your seals. So at this event, it's more so on a level of speaking on astrology, speaking on the stars, speaking on what is correct with us, and what do we need to do to amplify ourselves or become into what I'm pushing for. You know, the Ramesh to become is within their God self. With these keys and these that is dealing with each one of your seals, it's a way to raise that vibration even higher and learn how to manifest even quicker and learn how to adjust your body. So to give everyone um, a starting notion, I'm only going to give you the first three houses. I'm not going to give you all 12. I'll make sure that you figure out your 12. But for myself, what I'll do for the Rometch is make sure that I give you your first, second, and third house um, spheres that's dealing with the Kabbalah, that's also dealing with chants, that's also dealing with the mantras, that's dealing with, you know, yam, lamb, ham, and all of those things. That's what I want to present to the people, because it's not just a astrology's conference. It's basically like a meeting of the gods in a sense. But I don't like to use the word God, so I'll use the correct term. It's a meeting of the Netherus. So definitely buy your online tickets, come get your tickets, because the information that I'm about to give to you is definitely going to be life changing in a many of ways. No matter what practice that you're under, I'll be able to figure it all out for you just by looking at your chart. From there, go from there and just keep venturing. As the farther we go, the better we become. The more that we ground ourselves and collect our energy in a proper way that's coded just for you, specifically to you. I mean, you can't go wrong, because it's basically learning your own levels of vibrations, and from that, you know, there's ways and methods of doing so. And then when it comes to dealing with the if you're dealing with certain practices like dealing with the Ifa and so on and so forth, I will not tell a person who has their head. The reason for it is because I personally have a lot of respect for the Babalaos and the Iamis that do these divination practices. When it comes to just those spirits that work with you, and I call this whole process spirit teams, um, I'll be able to tell you which ones work with you. And from there, understanding your own personal spirit team that you were brought here on this planet with, that's what I'm here to bring light to with each and every person who comes to this event.
Gratitude. All right, so a few points right now. First of all, I must say, when I was sitting with Ramutef in Boston and taking in what I spoke a little bit ago, it was broke up English. It broke up because Ramutef this is his area of expertise. He's speaking on it better than me, so I'm glad he was here to share that with you all. I had because originally what I had was some notes that I had shared. I shared with Ramutef from one of our phone meetings. So I was having him clarify my notes in person, because over the phone is I write it down how I hear it. I write down what I saw, and then I just had him clarify if the imagery was correct. And for the most part, it was. For the most part, it was. Now, as he continued, and he was giving me my personal reading, and it was in line with everything he just talked about, I was using the backside of those papers, and I ran out, and I was like, dang. But plus, at the same time, we were hitting, we had to be somewhere. So time was running out, so to speak, either way. I Definitely told him next time we sit down, I'm bringing some notebooks, plural, because the way he talks, and I can, I coordinate well with Ramutef to this point to where I can just make a circle and one mark and move along as he talks. And then when I'm on my own, I can go revisit my memory and then fill in the blanks. You come to this event. If you ever get a reading from Ramutef, be sure you have notebooks on hand and a few of these, because you run out of ink. And I would advise you have different colored inks. For real.
For real.
Come with your paper. I promise. I'm doing a lot for this event. Ramutef is doing plenty for this event. Do not come to this event without your paper and pen and come ask Joy Allen for. I don't have enough for you. I have enough for you. And the only people I'm talking to right now is the people in my audience. I know who y'all are. So if somebody comes to the event that don't know me, I will go ahead and give them a notebook. You know what I mean? That's pen and paper. But those of you who know, don't come without your notebook. I can't help you. I'm not doing it. I'm getting to a point in life right now. I promise y'all, I am in the no excuse zone. I don't do excuses too much no more. They don't fly by here. And this just happened recently, like this week. I'm like, I can't accept that. That's just an excuse. I don't even want to hear this whole section of the world anymore. That's an excuse. This is the no excuse zone in my life right now. All right. I appreciate y'all. Now, also, Ramutef, you had mentioned looking at something you said just briefly ago, had me remember one broadcast where you actually did this. The lady told you her sign, and you gave her some physical characteristics. I know that, so you can also, when you see the people though, because that was just in the comment section, when you see someone, you can tell them what their sign is based on physical characteristics. And you shared some of that with me. I saw you had a illustration. Could you talk to us about that? And will you be doing any of those at the event as well?
Yes, because personally, I'm still studying it. Because there's a lot of people that's in this realm that don't know their birth time. And me being a person, I want to make sure that everybody is able to get any type of reading, no matter how hard it is. So I learned from looking into different books that I'll definitely be sharing at the event of the ones that I've been studying. I noticed that a lot of these books, when dealing with a rising sign, or they call it your ascending sign, they describe a person's characteristics, their to a T, as well as their body. So for instance, for example, a person who has a Sagittarius rising, I personally have never met a Sagittarius rising who is no taller, no shorter than 5'6". Anybody who's a Sagittarius rising is like up there between 5'6" to maybe even 6 feet. It all depends on a lot of things. But they're those who came out like that. That's the height that they are. They also have this what they call as a Tristan forehead, because I thought it was funny. But at the same time, when you start to look at these certain characteristics, and it's like for a person who doesn't have their birth time, just getting two of the signs that are very important, which is your body sign and your sun sign. And most people, sometimes some people go towards their moon sign as well. So the moon sign is kind of, I'm still studying that part. But as far as your sun sign and your moon sign, I'm sorry, your rising sign, the rising sign is dealing with, if I look at you and I see the characteristics of your face, like for instance, for me, I'm a Taurus rising. Most people who have Taurus risings have big eyes, right? Or they have like some kind of like slanted type of eyes, but they're big. They definitely have what is called certain beautiful features. Like when a person looks at me, in a sense, they'll see something that's beautiful, and no matter if it's my eyebrows, my hair, the color of my hair, my mustache, my nose, my dimple, something, my lips. There's something that they are attracted to. When it comes to a person, let's say for instance, can I use you as an example, Joy?
Yes.
So for a person like Joy, she's a cancer rising. So most people who are cancer rising, they have described as a moon face. So they're like, in a sense, moon people. Like people gravitate to the moon. The most attractive thing in the sky is the moon. So people are always gravitated to this individual. So it's like things of that nature. Once you start to literally get those characteristics down, a person who is trying to get from the level of not using technology and actually going off of pure energy and spirit, that's the level that I'm trying to get myself to. So as I'm doing these studies and just, play around with, people's rising signs, things of that nature, your rising sign is basically the projection that you are in this physical realm. When a person sees you, or if I see you, you see me, that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a physical representation of what is called a constellation sign. Me being a Taurus, Joy being a Cancer. But if you know our sun signs, you know me as a Leo and her as a Scorpio. So then you add those factors, and then when it comes to the moon, it's a whole other story. For myself, it's a Pisces moon. So when it comes to those attributes that I'm given, or those abilities that I'm able to tap into, those are the things that I'm starting to research now because I have a huge imagination. However, I like to take that imagination and make it reality. So as we're discussing and seeing those things, people who do not have their birth time, if you're in my presence or if I'm looking at you, your hand can tell you, your sign as well. Because each person has like what it called it's called an element bodies. And you learn that in, basic magic in a sense when it comes to the ones that they bring out when it comes to dealing with grimoires and so on and so forth. When you look at your hand can tell you basically what element or what body element that your body's taking on. Like for mine, one hand is earth, the other hand is air, and it's all dealing with your first house. Since I have Taurus in my first house, but it's also Gemini in that first house, so you'll see earth and air in my body. More so, you'll see the earth characteristics, but the person that's within is the Leo. So all that fire, charismatic, and passionate speaking that I sometimes get myself into. Those are the things that you can find out. Like, oh, then there's also these key words that I try to get people to say without them noticing. So like for instance, Leos, right? Most Leos or all Leos really, if you're dealing with a person, let's say he or she is an Aries rising. Um, there's certain words that I'm gonna try to get this person to say, and that key word I'm looking for will be "I will," because "I will" is a predominating word that Leos use day in day out. And people use them all the time, but a Leo will say "I will," "I will," "I will," "I will," even if they're saying that they're going to do it or not. But they say "I will" like it's the back of their hand. Um, but yeah, that's yeah. Let me stop for a limit because I'm going. I'm about to start going.
You would be good. You'd be good if you did that. Whenever you do that, this is what we do over here. This is what we do. Karmic Dynasty, the unknown, the unexpected.
Yeah.
All topics are the topic.
But what I want to go on to is that the reason why another reason why I tell people to bring their notebooks and pens for those who are new to astrology that want to get into it and find out what I do on just when I do just basic readings is I teach you how to read it from a basic level. So if you wanted to pick it up, you have the tools to do it. Granted, you'll be under I say my school of thought. By the same time, my mission is to for you to learn it from that point of view, then turn it into your own. Turn what works best for you. Go by as my great friend Ogunda Baki always say, go with your inspiration. On every little magical practice I do with him, he tells me, go with your inspiration, Ramutef. Go with your inspiration. I'll show you how to do it, but go with your inspiration. But that from that type of bond that we have, that's how I teach. Like when you do a reading, I'll teach you the basics. Some people just like, all right, let's just get into it, and I'll be like, all right, let's get into it because I know we're pressed for time. I gotta start working on that time aspect of myself, because I could keep going and going and going, because I'm a person who wants to make sure that the individual who's getting the reading done comes out of it completely with the full knowledge of what they need to know. They might be confused for a little bit, but eventually they're going to start to see themselves, their true selves. Because the one thing about Western is that I know personally is that Western astrology is a way of teaching a person how to be what they want you to be. A lot of people out here are claiming these signs. Some of them may be still their sign, but they don't understand the other aspects of their moon and their rising sign, because their rising sign tells a lot, because that's basically the mask that you hide behind. Um, from there, I want to make sure that you get to comfortable at a level where when you start to do those practices for yourself, I'm also going to be teaching how to control your day by using your chart, your own personal chart. And what I mean by that is like um, the way that I do it for myself. I ask myself a question. There's 12 houses that give you 12 directions. From those 12 directions, you understand the flow of time. Like for right now, when the sun hits the horizon out here, it'll be like what? I think like 7 o'clock, 6 or 7, no, 6 o'clock. Yeah, it'll be 6 o'clock around here. In my location. So the sun is moving into what is called the 12th house. So I try to tell people when it's to control your day, you will have to learn how to ask a question of yourself in the chart and know how your day goes. So we're going to go, for instance, this is going to be like a pre-warm up. So at the start of your day, the sun goes into the 12th house. That's dealing with spirituality and solitude. Most people do what when they wake up? They pray, right? Some people do practices, things of that nature. As you go throughout the day, after you do your ritual, when you wake up, the sun goes into the 11th house. What are you doing? Either on social media, you're looking at something to inspire you. You're looking at ways to contact other people, to, the people that you gravitate to. The first people that you talk to are the ones that are within that first couple of hours. From there, you go to the 10th house, and from the 10th house, you're dealing with, certain things of your jobs. Most people who work for the system, they're at work around this time. And during this time, they're looking at certain educational purposes. They learn how to get past their boss, or certain body that they don't like, learn how to take power in a sense. Then you get to the ninth house. Around the time you're in the ninth house, you're about on break, on lunch break. Some people are looking at TikTok most of the day. Some people are looking at YouTube and looking at some of these master teachers are watching us on this program as well. So that's dealing with how you say knowledge. Then you get to the eighth house, and by that time, if you got like certain types of personal lives, you're gonna start getting like little texts here and there. Um, some people that you probably like, or you'll probably get some kind of news that's going to be transformational, or you're about business wise, you're about talking about making or closing a deal on some money. Then you get to the seventh house where you're dealing with your partners, closing deals, things of that nature. Then you get to the sixth house. By the time the sun is setting, you should be by in that meeting line of what they call the descending. And the descending is just like dealing with um how you say, it's a borderline of like life and death in a sense, the way that I've learned. When it comes to the sixth house, the sun's going to be in the sixth house. You're dealing with service. For me, around that time, I'm still on the road, so that's the only reason why I'm able to explain this a lot better. So in the sixth house, I'm basically on the road. By the time I'm in the fifth house, I'm either expressing myself to who I'm trying to talk to, or the people who are trying to connect with me before I call it a day. And by the time the sun goes into the fourth house, where am I? I'm at home, getting myself ready to go to sleep. And from the fourth house all the way to the first house, that's the time that you be dreaming. So now you take that aspect of your day, know how your day is going to go, because that's the repeating day, especially if you're in the workforce. That's how your day is going to go. So now, if you're trying to change it, you go to your chart. Then you be like, all right, what do I do in the chart? So you deal with the first house going to your 12th house. First house is dealing with self. What does such and such need to do to allow my day to be prosperous? Second house, you're dealing with the things that you have. From there, you collect the information that you need to push forward that. Then third house, dealing with communication. You start talking reaching out to the people that you need to reach out to make sure that your day is prosper. Then you collect all the items from home, which is, your work outfit, your time, your watch, your makeup, whatever. Get yourself together. Fifth house, express to the people directly, like, you will not mess up my day. It's like mantras. You will not mess up my day. I'm not dealing with you, like your boy and Half Baked. He talking when he all got fired. He talking about fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you, fuck you. I'm out of here. That type of expression. From that, if you don't get fired, then you'll still be at your place of work in the sixth house. Then you just keep going with the questions. So that's the type of things I want to be teaching at this event. I know I'm kind of losing people a little bit, just a little bit, but at the same time, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to teach that aspect to help those who know it or don't know it and help them learn how to control their day 10 times better. But you got to go through the traumas. You got to deal with yourself. And then most people on this planet don't even know who their true self is. They're still going off of what is just called a sun sign. That's not even them. Anytime you go on a website and you dealing with relationships, things of that nature, they're only going past. They're only connecting you sun sign wise. They ain't talking about the rising sign. They ain't even talking about your moon sign. They just going to offer your sun sign, and you think that's going to work. No, 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 no. Like your girl said in Get Out. That's not how it works. You got to understand your body chemistry got to work. Not only from your soul, but your body got to mix too. So like most people, they start to feel this energy tug between them. They don't understand it because they don't understand. Hey, this person is this rising sign. This person is this rising sign. But once you start to get an understanding of it, you're gonna be like, oh, now I know how our flow works. And then when it comes to our sun signs, some people know like some signs you just cannot put together. I don't care who you are. You just cannot put them together because you asking for trouble, hands down, straight up. And I'm witnessing it myself. And then when it comes to that moon sign, the one thing I want people to start to truly utilize, and especially it don't matter what practice you're under, dealing with the cosmos. Your moon sign is dealing with energy, emotion, not just emotions. We're talking about energy, emotion. We're telling you that if you have your energy, say for instance, myself in Pisces, right? So with my moon being in Pisces, being a wane, I think I'm a waning. Yeah, I'm a waning moon. I'm a waning crescent moon. So with that type of energy, anytime that comes around in Pisces, that's like something that's I can use to truly manifest or truly tap into my higher self in a sense. But anytime that moon goes in there, it's a form of me learning how to use and put my energy into my 11th house, which is also my 12th house, um, and use that energy to bring results within others or help people gravitate more to. That's what that whole representation of using that energy of my moon sign within the 11th house dealing with groups of people, but it's also dealing with Pisces, and Pisces is dealing with, certain aspects of spirituality. So those who are gravitating with spirit or those who move with spirit gravitate to a person like myself, a person like Joy, because Joy's a Cancer rising and Cancer is ruled by the moon. So people gravitate to us as we gravitate to you. But it's about how we use our energy that gives us the right notion of should we mess with you or should we not mess with you? Should you be a part of what we're doing or should we be a part of what you're doing? But if your energy ain't flowing with me, don't step to me, because that's the type of level that I personally am. I stick to myself for a specific reason because I understand that most of these people on this planet do not know their true self. And the person who is learning their true self and getting out of that stage of, oh, well, you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, you're all this other stuff, I can't really rock with you type thing. No, 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 no. And the reason I say that is because I had an interesting conversation with a couple of brothers in the barbershop today. And then shout out to King's Kid Barbershop out here in Pittsburgh. My man who's the owner, we had to bring it to his attention, like, yo, that your barbershop is like everyone's headquarters, right? And he's like, for real? I'm like, yeah, yeah. The reason why I say that is because a lot of us who come here in this particular area, not in these areas, we don't really mesh with these individuals, and it's not because we pay more money, but it's more of the fact that we're all on a different frequency than most people who just come in to just get their haircut. We're not only here to get our haircut; we're also here to brainstorm, work together, business ventures, things of that nature. How can we, as a collective, put things in motion when it comes to those who are coming against us or those who are trying to um, get in our way? From that conversation, I met a brother who just got like this huge advancement in welding, and I thought that was the craziest thing because he allowed them to try to talk him down, price rise, but then he flipped the script on them, so I'm like, yo, you need me. I don't need you. I'm comfortable where I'm at. You need me, so let me raise the bar on you so I can show you how important I am. And so enough, he's about to, whew, boy, he about to turn it up. And then the other brother, he's telling me about certain other avenues when dealing with businesses, when it comes to dealing with our own people in that sense, and not necessarily I'm not knocking the other people's people, but at the same time I'm not focused on that right now. My focus is to, in the area that I live in, my main focus is dealing with those who are trying to build. If you're not on that lane of building or trying to take us out, you're not gonna see me at all. You're not gonna see me at all. So those are the type of things I'm trying to help our people learn, not just from myself. It's from a collective that I've learned from others, from one of my astrology teachers who's Femi Lola, from my other astrology teacher who is Ike Rodriguez, is Captain Ike. These individuals are very deep in their knowledge and they've definitely been in the game for a long time. For me, just coming in, um, when it comes to just branching out more, I should say, this is what I want to do for the city of Pittsburgh, to let people know, like, hey, I'm here to bring something new to the table. If you want to come, come. If you want to just sit back and listen, we have a virtual way of doing it. By the end of the day, this is something that you really want to pay attention to, because I'm not only going to tell you who your angel is, I'm not only going to tell you who your demon is, I'm not only going to tell you what Orishas that you're dealing with, I'm not even going to just tell you about your Netarus, the energy forces that work with you. I'm going to help you align yourself differently than what they show you in the Kabbalah, because everyone has their own specific code that aligns in a whole different format from there. But like I said, I'm just gonna just give people just the first three houses and only the first three houses, because I don't want nobody to combust. Because if they ain't ready, to, I don't. You can't. Disclaimer: it's not my fault if you blow up. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Also, speaking of blowing up, because people there, they're not only going to be interacting with you and myself, we also will have a few other speakers at this event, and we also have divination vendors at this event. So you will be you will have the ability, it's an option, it's up to you to interact with a divination vendor at this event. And Ramutef, tell us about a divination vendor or two that'll be here and what the people can expect as an experience if they interact with one of them.
Hold on 1 second. Yes, your boy just came out of nowhere.
Hmm?
I said he came out of nowhere. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, he called
Oh,
Mark Caliper. I don't know what he is. He came out of nowhere. I'm just sitting there, coming to sit outside. Look how beautiful that thing is.
mm-hmm.
Look at it. Yeah, say hi to the people. You live right now.
You live right now.
That's a blessing right there. That's why they say when those insects and animals up here, those are your ancestors by. Look at, he's just going. Look at him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
You good. We need that. We needed that.
For divination practitioners, those who come to do divinations, just know that you're here to set a tone. Your tone is to help uplift, not just tell a person, "Oh, you're this." No, 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 no. You need to reach deep down inside when you connect to these people and help them realize their own personal issues, allow them to go through those 3 stages that I learned from the Comedic Wisdom School, which is the 3 stages of waking up, which is anger, denial, and acceptance. And then most people who are divination practices, it don't matter what you do. You probably do the Ouija board, you probably do the pendulum. It don't matter. I want anybody of any type of divination practice to be there because it's like I said, it's a meeting of the Netarus, or in layman's terms, meeting of the gods. That's where I'm trying to set the tone for.
Very good. So y'all heard it here. Ramutef let you know there may be Ouija boards there. I don't know how some people feel about the Ouija boards.
All right.
We don't. You just show up and expect to be in the unexpected environment. That's the best we can tell you. We can't tell you, give you everything, but yeah, it definitely might be a Ouija board there.
Oh yeah, I know. One thing, one of your questions you said
Mm-hmm.
about, you know, this is basically on live when people are just listening, but I'll repeat it at the event too. So for a person who never knew their mother or their father, right? When it comes to our gender, we're going into gender right now. So when it comes to dealing with that, right? So say for instance, you don't know, a person doesn't know their father, and they have like all this hatred because their mom was, talking bad on them, and the same thing with the father. Did you know that if you are of the feminine energy, you are your father, or you have these characteristics of your father that he wasn't able to tap into, and vice versa with the fellas who dealing with their mothers. If you got mama issues or daddy issues, the best way to counteract that, look at yourself. Go look in the mirror and look at yourself, because you're that person. You're that good aspect, but at the same time, you are ex- emitting a lot of that negativity that they have, that they installed into, or not necessarily installed into, but more so vicariously passed on to you. And the way that I've been researching that is looking through what they call your North Node and South Node. But I have my own way of telling your destiny anyway. But I'll teach people that when we're at the event. But that North Node, South Node, I started noticing just with even within myself. So, for instance, like the karma that I inherit, I already mastered certain things in Ophiuchus and Scorpio. My father, where my South Node lands on, is exactly where my father's sun sign is at. So for me, it was easy for me to identify, like, are you for real? I inherit his karma. And then when I look into my life, I'm like, yo, as much as I say I want to be like him, I turn just like him, but a different or better version of him. But when it's all on retrospect, I had to also look back and understand that, oh snap, I'm my mother just in a boy's body. Hmm, interesting. So I started looking into my mother's life and a lot of things that I've learned and taught, and the way that she allowed me to grow up in nature. It makes a lot of sense because in her mind and the way that she grew up, she had her things that she has to deal with. My mom is also getting, working on her traumas like we are supposed to work on our traumas. And then when it comes to, dealing with spiritual systems, me and my mom are like two peas in a pod. As much as my mom went changing, but through different systems under the same system, but going to a higher level, I myself done the same in a whole different direction. So when I look back on it, it's like, damn, my mom's a Sagittarius. I'm thinking she's a an Aquarius, and then I thought she was a Capricorn. No, no, no. My mom's a Sagittarius, and I'm just like, yeah, that's crazy. Oh, peace to those in UK. Appreciate you. I know the time frame, time zone. This is wonderful. It's probably like early morning for y'all. So thank you for being here. Um, yeah, just seeing that things, and it's just like, wow, like I'm definitely my mother's child. Like I'm really my mother's child. And then if you look at me or my mother, I look, even though people say I look like my dad, I got a lot of features of my dad, but I look just like my mom. All right here, all my mom, all this right, mom. My hips, I ain't gonna show everybody, but my hips, I got it, all that for my mama. You know what I mean? So as you start to go through and chill with us, learn from us, break bread with us at the same time, understand that coming to this event itself is not going to be a waste of your time. Definitely not going to be a waste of your time.
Definitely not. So based on what you said, I am my father in a woman's body.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You got a lot of your father's characteristics, and
I
then
do.
if you put y'all, your faces together, you be
Hmm.
like, damn, I look just like my daddy.
And our hands. I got my daddy hands. I got my daddy, in a woman's form. I got my daddy's build. I do have my daddy's, I do.
So it's like that's how deep I want people to understand. Like, even though, hold on, even though, you know, some people have noticed it and have not noticed it yet. No, 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 no. So I'm a enlighten folks on this too. So everybody's been talking about the Lions Gate, right? They all understand that when you're dealing with the actual cosmos, understand we're still in Cancer season. We're nowhere near Leo. We're closer. We're about a couple of days, 2 days later. Then we're in Leo. So one thing people don't also know is that in order to understand how to open a gate, you need two key factors. You need a powerful force to open up a portal, right? So on August 10th, the star Sirius and the sun rises in unison. It already did it in Cancer on July 25th. Now it's about to do it in Leo. That's another portal opening. During this portal, it's under the sign of Sekhmet, or what people know as Leo. So eventually I'll show it because I know I did a post about it, every year. But hopefully people will start to get the concept like, yo, you have to get off this Gregorian calendar. This Gregorian calendar is fucking you up, hands down. Um, but at the same time, dealing with that day specifically, the sun is in Leo, the star is in Leo. Even though the star itself is by where, if people know the correct placement of it, it's in or near Gemini. The star is near Gemini. Why is the star that's by Gemini close to the sun in the sign of Leo and rises with Leo and then just keeps going past? For us over here on the East Coast, the star will rise before um the sun. You'll see the star even more. But somewhere in Colorado, in the Midwest, in a sense, they're going to see the sun and the star rise together. And then understanding the Meta Nature symbol of, there, then they got the star and the hill. Even though my stuff is bad. But
Mm.
the which is Cyrus, which is the star, people call it the dog star or so on and so forth, or Cyrus B, Cyrus A, it doesn't matter. But there's a frequency that happens when the sun and that star meets up. When they come into the horizon, one thing I learned from Captain Ike Rodriguez, if you find him, you go on to find him on Facebook, Sidereal Revolution, and he has what is called a masterclass. I took it myself. So he teaches you or gives you information about what is called the Mars effect. So what it is over in the eastern horizon. Hold on, let me get my back to it. So in the eastern horizon, there's a very powerful force or trait that we all can take on. From there, when those two stars or those two suns rise above the horizon, which people will call the sun gazing, during that time, that's a huge energy force, a telluric force that's rising and opening what? A gate. That gate is opening the gate to what? Leo, to Sekhmet. And then around this time, um, the Sahara Desert is going to start blowing towards somewhere. And usually wherever it blows is where a lot of trouble is coming because that's where, how you say, Sekhmet is letting herself be known on this planet. But I digress.
Gratitude, gratitude. That was well explained. Very, very good. Great job, great job. That's what I want to say. I'm gonna just say that. Great job. All right, now in the description of this video, there is a link for those who have contributed to my tour, which starts in DC, goes to Pittsburgh, then Columbus, and last Detroit. to join us on the panel if you like. And I'm saying that right now because we will soon be talking about the next event, which is in Columbus. And the children that you see above, they're in the Columbus flyer. And these children belong to their mothers helped me put together the Ohio event. So the Ohio event is big. It means a lot to me as well. And I appreciate the mothers and their children for participating. And I was able to use their images in the flyer. So we'll talk more about that in a few moments, giving those who are interested in coming on the panel time to do so. And the ones that are helping with that event is Mother Matriarch Salima Ellis. I know right now she is in an area. She's involved in a few things. So she's in an area right now where she doesn't even have phone reception. So she probably doesn't even know we're live right now. But I guarantee you, if she did know, she'd be here on the panel with us. And Shay Yu, and let me share their banners right quick. So we have Salima. She is here. Do I have hers in here? Yep, Salima. So you have questions about the event ahead of time. Here goes Salima's information. Right quick, because I'm going to share them again later. Also, we have Shay Yu. She is right now also involved in a few projects. So she is unavailable right now as far as I know. As time goes on today, she may have a few moments to come in and speak to us briefly, and that'll be okay. Whether we are talking about the Ohio event at the time or not, if any of these people that I'm naming can come in, we'll cut over to the Ohio event and then we'll proceed afterwards. And Quantiera, she also has helped assisted in this event as well, and I appreciate her. And Shima by Aztec Heru, she is part of this event as well in Ohio. And then also Cherie Reed El Messiah Code is as well. So if anyone would like to come on and speak for those, and I also know some of them, those same people, they are involved in the Detroit event. So they may come on and speak about that event as well. So we're going to continue on and speak a little more about this Pittsburgh event and then proceed with the Columbus event. Ramutef, you have something else you'd like to share at this time concerning this event?
More so it's on the level of, again, just understanding our true selves. That's the main reason why I was going about it. Because there's there's a lot of people who have different type of conferences and things of that nature. And I've looked at a couple of them and I've seen that, it's very interesting of what they do. But I'm a whole different breed of person. So the way that I figured that I do it or started off with this being my first actual of many that I know I'm going to start doing is to bring forth that which was hidden from us, bring forth our true selves within this realm. We have a lot of things that's coming our way, especially with all these planets still in retrograde. A lot of us are getting a lot of opportunities right now, and it's really going to start amping up once Uranus goes retrograde in Aries. And that's going to be a very interesting thing because I already know from me looking ahead of time in the future. These governments is about to do some fucked up shit. I'm just letting y'all know right now. So my job as a nature as well as a human being is to gather those because I'm not here for everyone. I'm only here as I was taught for those who have an eye to see, an ear to hear, and an understanding heart. And as you come to this event, it's definitely going to be interesting. It's going to be very well unrehearsed because I love to just go with the fly with things. But there will be pamphlets there so people can follow along. For those who are online hopefully I can try to figure out a way to share that part as well. When it comes to the information.
Oh, for those people, remember, we are sending them a PowerPoint, a copy of the PowerPoint. They can follow along with that. Yep.
Okay, that works. So yeah, what the Hemet said, yep, that works. So us following along, this is going to be like a basic breakdown of certain things. I'm not going to go into no history because I don't deal with history. We're dealing with our story right now. We understand all the things that we learned from our ancestors. Allow us to do our part. We have the technology. We have everything, as they say in those cartoons of like the Avengers and so on. We have it all, but are we applying it? Are we actually putting forth the knowledge that we have attained? So, me being the type of person that I am, that's what I want to bring to the people. I want to make sure that you are full aware when you come into this. It's like meeting Morpheus in a sense, but I'm not Morpheus. I'm Ramutef Qeb, and it's going to be like basically like he said, the red pill, blue pill.
I'm Trinity.
Hmm?
I'm Trinity.
Right? So you got the red pill, blue pill, but I'm not going to deal with the red pill, blue pill. I'm going to just deal with truth or continue to be a slave. Because that's one thing that I learned from John Henry Clark. Africans need to solve African problems as well. We cannot allow anybody else to solve our problems. Because if we allow anybody to solve our problems and we don't come up with a solution, we go back into slavery. And when I say slavery, we're talking about slavery to time, slavery to other people's bullshit, slavery to their working environment system. We're not just talking about just bondage and things of that nature. You're already in bondage. Every time you wake up and you look at the clock, you're in bondage. You're still under this, what you call a dogmatic system, dealing with 7 days in a week, dealing with 24 hours. That's dogmatic thinking. Let me stop. I got to stop.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm going to say right quick so it's not all you, and then you can go ahead. I I was already myself with my so-called retirement phase in life. No longer had the need for the alarm clock. If I had, and then it got to the point where if I had a early day appointment or early where I usually wouldn't be up that time of day, just knowing that I had an appointment, I would get up on my own without the alarm clock, outside of my regular time that I would get up. And then, so what I would do is most of my appointments and my broadcasts, etc., are when I know I'm up. So then I just go with the flow of my day, and I can just about feel when it's that time. And then I'll look and I'll be like, yeah, or I'll pass a clock or something, or I'll be on my laptop and I'll look, I'll be like, yep, this is about that time. So then with coming into knowledge of the calendar reforms and the whole falseness of time, I didn't have too many issues at all separating to another level from the fraudulent Gregorian calendar. No, too much, no effort at all. I'm like, okay, well, this makes sense. No wonder. And it's just been very well received by myself to disregard that Gregorian calendar. And so I feel and I have more freedoms. People want freedoms. They want to be free. And the one thing for me has been to separate from the clock more than I had before in life, and not feeling myself this anxiety, this anxiousness of being here. Oh, I got to do this. I got to do that. And there's less of that in life. So for those who are working on calming down and bringing it down some levels, I would suggest working on the separation from time and that calendar, and working more on your own inner system, yourself, your inner self, your you. And that's what I have to share about that so far right now. So Ramutef, you were going to continue on which part?
All right, so yeah, going back to, so that's another mission of mine, is helping people get off the Gregorian calendar. dealing with that 7-day system, and he started to go into calendar reform. And if you look, just not even with my name in it, or even with certain other platforms that we have been on, and we have discussed that, but not fully in detail. So I may give like a minor breakdown at the event, but in hindsight, it's just more so getting to the level of understanding that this time is not our time, because there is no time. The reason why the calendar is made is so we can learn how to um, feed ourselves. That's the only reason. That's the only reason for the calendar, but it's not necessarily. It's also
So you're
to,
speaking of crops, growing
yeah,
food. Okay.
agriculture, dealing with agriculture, and dealing with if you're trying to procreate. That's the only reason for the calendar. Those are the only two reasons for calendar for real, for real. But when it comes to the other
Then the
part,
procreate part is based on the woman's menstrual cycle. You
correct,
talk about that, the lunar cycle, the lunar
correct,
calendar.
the lunar calendar, correct. So to break it all down, when you're dealing with the lunar, you're also dealing with not just agriculture, but you're also dealing with menstrual cycles, the high and rising, the rising and the falling of the highs and low tides. You're dealing with certain frequencies and certain energy that we're able to manipulate within ourselves to project into manifestation. When it comes to the solar is dealing with those soul aspects of ourselves, or where our soul should be guided into. And then when you start to use your north node and collect and start, connecting that or connecting the dots, you start to get exactly how to get to that direction. When it deals with the sidereal is basically the way that we should be celebrating, having festivals, learning how to meditate, learn how to do all kind of um, divine interventions that we can bring to ourselves as well as to others. Those factors is dealing with those three in one. And anything that's dealing with three, you're dealing with, it's always dealing with the divine, you're dealing with the Trinity, and so on and so forth. So dealing with this seven, you don't understand that every year, especially around your birthday is no longer your birthday. And your birthday comes back around in this exact spot every 9 years. So within those additions to every year, how the Gregorian setup is that it skips a day. And then by the time it gets to the fourth year, because we all know that we have that leap year system, it skips 2 days. So by the time you're seven, when you think your birthday's on August 17th or so on and so forth, like mine, in all actuality, it's on a whole different day when you're dealing with time itself. Taking that notion out, but using the elements and disregarding February, Monday through Saturday, and all that other bullcrap, and 12 hours in the day, 12 hours in the night, in a sense, or 24-hour system. You understand that you don't need that no more. Once you break from that, all you got to understand is where are you going? Who am I? Why am I here? Where do I come from? Where am I going? Those aspects of life, those are the things that you want to start. I still almost said praise to, but those are the things that you want to start working towards. Working towards who you are is the first stage, and is understanding that there's a level of evolution that a person goes through. And I learned this from one of the Hamets that I discuss a lot of the work with. And from that, she was giving me a breakdown of how there's stages of metamorphosis that a human being or that's going to go through once you break yourself off time. Once you break yourself off time, you're going to have no recollection. You're going to get to the point where you don't know what today is, what time it is, unless you look up in the sun. Oh, okay.
Yes.
So it's like, for me, it'll be what, 2 o'clock. Actually, it's like three. So the sun is in the 2 o'clock position, but it's
Mhm.
3 o'clock right now. So that's the type of things that I'm trying to bring about. Once you get the way to that, all you got to do is use nature as your clock, because nature is basically the first clock anyway. That's what we're taught. And then as you go through that system, you understand that we're going to go from the level of human to understanding the soul to moving with spirit. From there, we're going to go from spirit to understanding what God's self is. And that's the level that I'm trying to bring people to this event to. From there, you're going to start understanding what the source is. And from that source, you're going to understand what your higher self is. Those are the stages of metamorphosis that we, as these human beings or these divine beings trapped in these shells, are pushing towards. Now that we know the stages, now we know how to get past it. What do we do first? Understanding self, because that's dealing with the human. Now we got to start connecting with our soul. From our soul, you're dealing with sidereal or sidereal astrology, and also with the moon itself. Then you start moving with spirit. How you move with spirit, energy, emotion, talking with your ancestors, finding who your ancestors are, meditation, things of that nature, aligning your chakras. Once you get to that level, then you understand that you become into that level of God self, where the inner you comes out into the physical, and then some people are going to see you as weird, things of that nature, or people are going to talk bad about you, but they don't understand the level of metamorphosis or metamorphosis that you are becoming. And then from there, you understand where the source is at, and most people should know where their source is. And the best way to get a explanation of the source, they explain, well, not necessarily explain it, but they show a version of how to contact or how to connect with the source in the movie, from that Marvel movie called Doctor Strange. And I won't go into detail, but I'll do that later. And then you understand what your higher self. Everybody's trying to attain to get to their higher self, but how are you actually going to get there if you don't even know how to connect with self first? You don't even know how to get to self, let alone tap into your soul. Most of us are at the level of dealing with spirits right now. Not a lot of people is at their God self. Not a lot of people are using the source, and not a lot of people on this planet are their higher selves. They will tell you that these 1%ers are dealing with their higher self. I mean, their higher self. But let us change the game ourselves. Let's not worry about what they are doing. Let's worry about what we are doing or what you are doing. First, deal with you, then come with the collective. Let's build this nation and rise, as they say. We will rise and all that good stuff. But yeah, definitely come out to this event. It's definitely going to be worthwhile. Um, just as a head note or disclaimer as well, I'm a person who listens to a lot of house music. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of house music being played. I'm not really too fond of a lot of the music now. I'm trying to vibe on a different vibe with less words and more tunes. But I'll definitely try to see if I can figure out how to play some music. You know, we can't be too uppity up in there.
We
But
could be, but
I
we
know
ain't gonna be because that ain't who we are.
exactly.
They already know it ain't happening.
Exactly. And then also, I've also got a couple of events out here. Those who are in the area of Pennsylvania or Pittsburgh itself, we are hosting a event. If you go to my Facebook page or even on my not my page, my story on both my Facebook and my Instagram, there's a list of the events that myself enjoy or a part of. There's also events that I'm a part of that's here out here in Pittsburgh. So definitely check out my stories. You'll see the one that's in Pittsburgh. Definitely get your tickets because tickets in by end of today for our little pop up event that we're hosting. Definitely get in tune. Definitely join in if you're here. Definitely get your tickets for those who are here, and those who are not here, those trying to come in. If you're looking for something to do, get your tickets. Show up here because you're definitely going to enjoy the collectiveness as our people as we, learning how to build for ourselves because that's what it's about right now. If you're not a part of building for self to build with the collective, you're going to be stuck in this little world, like as they do with the people with the shots. When they get their little shots and stuff, they're talking about you put some metal next to it, it's gonna stick on your arm type shit. So that's the type of life that you're gonna be living if you want to stay in there. I don't care. You can stay there. Me, I'm not here for you. I'm here for those, as I said earlier, those who have an eye to see, an ear to hear, and an understanding heart. Because that's how I was taught. And as I was taught that, I understand the message. The message is very deep, and it's only for those who are ready to build themselves into a whole nother direction because we are the ones who come here to bring change, especially my generation. Her generation is supposed to put it in. Hold on. Her generation is supposed to, bring forth it. My generation is here to change it all, especially in the medical field. So definitely we're gonna enjoy, speak about a lot of things. Definitely gonna talk about, the body structure and astrology, because that's going to be a very interesting topic too. And then learning how to use certain elements or certain herbs or crystals that will help you get yourself aligned. Because for the Boston event, even though I've been doing it for myself, but I allowed the Hemet, Joy, and Shima to take on these crystals, these certain crystals that align to their. I think I did it with your. I think it was your body sign. It was either your body sign or your soul sign. It was one of the two. But those crystals that I've gifted you, those ones are specifically to that particular sign of you. So those parts of things I want people to start, really getting into, because once you align yourself fully in those type of arenas, you'll understand that what it's going to bring you is a lot of calmness. You're going to be able to start to think clear. You might be upraised, but your upraised is going to be towards certain things that a person like myself would need to let go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So a person
I
without.
think these are for the body.
All right, so yeah, so those are the body. So it's going to help with the alignment of your body. Then when I gave you those key words, those what was it? The mantras that goes from your chart. Doing that 108 times is another way or form to help you align yourself. That's something like a practice for those, especially those who do meditation. Learning that your body has its own frequency that deals with the chakra charts, that deals with the tree of life. Each one has its own octane. Once you understand the octane that you're supposed to have, once you put all three together and do that in a rapid, it's going to transform you in a different way, like it has for myself. Because I'm not going to give anybody anything that I've never done to myself. That's why, for me, I've been done my first to sixth house. I'm not even going to the seventh to the 12th house because I'm not ready to combust yet. I'm not ready to combust yet. So, but the things that it has done for me is helped me learn how to get my communication better, learn how to get my confidence back in full, learn how to deal with my own personal situations in a better light. And as I'm learning these things within myself and learning things with other people, and I'm not saying that I'm experimenting, but at the same time, I'm not disclaimer, I'm not experimenting. I'm just basically aligning people based off of what I experiment on myself. So others who have got this information from me know that I have done it to myself first before I can bring it out. Because that's one thing I learned from some of the elders is that our ancestors did in certain continents. When they got their act together, they took the show on the road. Uh oh, and it is 333. That's what I'm talking about. I lose signal. Please say no. Uh oh.
You fine, Ramutef. You fine.
All right. Not because I thought I said that I had nothing but bars in it.
No, I have moved across the floor to get
Okay.
to look at okay. Okay, so you were talking about I went to get my sounds of the my chakras, and in our meeting in Boston, you told me you used the Kabbalah tree,
Yeah, that's the tree of life. Yep.
and and I know you use the sounds of the chakras. So the sounds of the chakras is Lam, Vam, Ram, Yam, Ham, and Kasham.
Mm-hmm.
And mine, according to what you gave me, and also a side note,
I say it was right.
Cancer is my head and Gemini is my feet.
Yes.
So my mantra, and I speak this 108 times, and
Yep.
it's my personal triple hesi, is
Right.
Ram, Yam, Ham.
Yep. Ram, yeah, ham. Yep.
And Ram removes the fears, doubt, and anxiety from an individual, so me, and it's directly linked to the power of the will. And it's also good for calling healing light into a room to charge the aura. Okay. And then Yam represents the heart, and it helps to express myself and connect with others. And Ham is the throat chakra, and it wards off black magic, bad intentions. And this mantra increases the power of the mind. So that's mine. So when you come to the event and you're interested, then Ramutef would possibly, depending on time and where we're during the event. Timing is a big key. Even though we talk about time, I will say all is divine. So the divine energy will lead you to receiving yours or not from Ramutef. And again, mine personally, Ramutef gave me in person is Ram Yam Ham. And I will say that 108 times.
Yeah, but you got it. But yeah. Because like I was explaining to you, it's all in the chant. So like the chants that we learn from from the root going up, that's like practice, training. It's like a way of training yourself to get to those levels. Now it's time to utilize those that what you have trained for. That's what I figured out when using your natal chart, place it within the Kabbalah, and with the Kabbalah using the chakras. So if you have already done the basics of learning with lamb, ham, ram, yam, zam, things of that nature, that's training. It's training yourself to get to that level. Now it's time to utilize your training and learn utilize your how they say your God given powers in a sense, or your ways to manifest certain aspects within self so you can bring that out. So as you were saying with the one chakra, dealing with yours is what it was what 8, right? So that's dealing with the solar plex, right? I want to say it was the solar plex. Was it the solar plex? Or the sacral? It was one or two. See the sacral or the solar plex. Can't remember. But I have to look at it. But learning from that particular area of yourself and utilizing that energy and learn how to maneuver it within your body instead of starting from the ground and coming up. We already have that flow coming as we step on the ground. Now it's time to utilize it. So from here it starts in your solar plex. From using that where a lot of your energy is stored. From a lot of your energy being stored, let's use that energy and put it in the right direction. So for you, it's going straight up, straight from the heart to the throat. So that energy that you're starting to exert, you're basically, in a sense, if I were to bring fantasy into it, it's like describing someone who has like sonic breath, in a sense, or sonic sounds that's coming out, or like a banshee. You sheep and you're warding off whatever needs to be warded off. But banshees also, bringing forth death. And then when you start to go to your sun sign, you understand that a lot of things dealing with Scorpios dealing with death, right? So as we keep going and keep going and keep going, as you go through all 12 and learn that each person has their own key. And it's like, in a sense, unlocking the body, in a sense, once you get to that completion. And those who want to go as far as they want to, as another disclaimer, you can go right ahead. I'm going to teach you how to do it, but you go right ahead. You can go right ahead. I'm not afraid of it. I'm just making sure that I understand it completely as I'm giving it all. Because the first three houses so far for myself, you got to understand that your first house is dealing with your body, the things that your surroundings, which is basically your mental space, and then the way that you communicate. Now let's add those extra energies or those powers that's within each of those houses, dealing from your solar plex to your throat chakra. So when it comes to you, it's still going to be in alignment because the things that the desires of your heart is manifesting to give and speak. And then from your solar plexus, where all that energy is going to come from. And then I help you, deal with a lot of our personal insecurities and things of that nature. It's a form of having us have that clear mind and understanding and allowing us to become greater than what we are now. But also always remember we are still human in this body. Always remember that. But at the same time, within this body is a deity, and each deity is trying to get out. But how are you gonna do that? So that's when you learn about them angels and them demons. And when you find out about what the angel and demon is for real, you're gonna be like, yo, is that me? Yes, that is you. Ain't not there's no such thing as this demon da 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 is over. Oh, they're out there. I ain't gonna lie, they're all out there. I'm not even gonna lie to you on that one. However, understanding the one that works with you is you. The angel that works with you is you. You combine that as one, you're gonna start to see yourself within both of those aspects. You're negative or you're positive, or you're negative or you're positive and you're negative. A lot of people don't like to combine the two because every negative has a positive, every positive has a negative. Like light is a reflection of radiation, or it gives off radiation. And that radiation is what? Darkness. Darkness is absence of light. Light is absence of darkness. That type of methodology.
All right, so everyone, join us Saturday, September 4th in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tickets are available. They are on sale. And, you can contact Ramutef Qeb for your ticket for this event. And or you can contact me for a ticket. Either one of us, you can buy a ticket. All right, so we are going to move on and we are going to be discussing the homeschool, unschool evolution event. So, as I mentioned before, and I'm going to say it again, several people have assisted with this event. So, I have opened up the panel, so anyone who wants to join us will be able to do so and speak in regards to this event. This event is big. It's big in itself because there are 6 of us that's putting this together. 7 of us that put that distance. Wow, 7. Okay. So let's see. So the flyer itself. The flyer itself is big. Starting with, we have our children on this flyer. That in itself is a representation without words. I know one of the matriarchs for this event spoke on how when the finished product is available for sale, they wanted to be clear, a clear message that this homeschool, unschool, finished product that we have is not for everyone. It's only for us. It's only for our children, only for our home environments. Now, of course, people will they can go on the outlets available and purchase it, but they are not our target audience. So I found it fitting to, because we had a meeting and we were wanting to figure out how to word this is for us. This is for our children. This is for, and for me, I'm all about imagery. So this image says it all. These children here, this is for us. We don't see anybody else's children up here. So if this message alone is not big enough for people to get, this is only for us. This is for we have a target audience. It is what it is. When we are finished with the homeschool, unschool book, then of course, again, anyone can buy it. We don't actually know who's putting in the card numbers and making these purchases. And, but it is what it is. So again, for this event, so back to the flyer. So again, the matriarchs are speaking, and we wanted to make sure, we wanted to be clear that even if you do not meet us at this event, because this event right here is the first of many. If you participate, you don't have a ticket sale. You will attend the event for free. This and the Detroit event and many more of my future events, you're participating. You're coming to the table at this event with know-how, what to share. You're adding value to unschooling our children, the homeschool evolution. You will attend this event for free. People who want to come, and I call them spectators, non-participants. The non-participants are the ones who will be buying the tickets to this event. So the matriarchs are speaking in this flyer. They want you to know that we will be at the creation and development table. So again, If you come to this event, you can sit with us at that table and help us put together the book, the final product. And we also will have continuous broadcasts to get the message out in video. And if you contribute in that manner, then you will come to this event at no cost. You will not purchase a ticket. Also, we want, and I'm gonna actually say this, I'm not even gonna say, this is not the all of what we had to say as a collective. And it got to the point when I was making the flyer, I was like, look, y'all, the flyer is only going to hold so much information. So we need to narrow this down. We have a lot to say. We have a lot to share when it comes to your child's knowledge and the evolution of the knowledge for our children. So this is just a snapshot of what we need to share with you all. So we would like for you to know that your child, the knowledge that they obtain is your choice. And we're also bringing you the how-tos of homeschool. So some are, for example, school hours. You are able to make your own hours for your children when you're teaching them. And or, which is in the flyer as well, you can have someone else teach your children and they're still homeschooled. And let me see. Oh, so there's school hours. You can create your own hours, which means a lot of, because we've received a lot of feedback in the making of this event, and we've heard people say, well, I can't homeschool because I'm at work. That's an excuse. As I shared at the beginning of the broadcast, Karmic Dynasty, this brand right here, as of like this week, this is the no excuses zone. I don't want to hear it. I'm not hearing it. I am not hearing the caregivers say, because I can't say parents, because there are some grandchildren, there are some grandmothers, grandfathers raising grandchildren. There are some aunts, uncles, cousins bringing up their nieces, nephews, or cousins. There are different dynamics in the family. So I'm calling them caregivers. Caregivers, I can no longer hear anyone say, I can't do it because of my work hours or my personal schedule. Yes, you can. You are able to, yes, you will, or no, you will not. It's that simple. You will or you won't. Excuses are not allowed. And when we allow excuses, that's when we decline as a people. And as a people, we start out as children. And what the traits and the behaviors and characteristics we pick up as children are with us as adults. So it's a continuous issue when we allow excuses, because we are continuing to have our community on the decline. Karmic Dynasty around here, again, this is the no excuse zone. I do not hear you. I do not hear you saying you cannot because of your personal hours, your work schedule, XYZ. I don't hear you. I don't know you. You will also, when you homeschool, unschool, have your own learning tools, your curricular freedom, which means you don't have to go by what the school was teaching your children. So say you had your children in public school, private school, and now you're deciding to homeschool them. Or say you're starting brand new, you have children that are starting at the school age level at any time, because this is a future reference video. This ain't for just right now. You have the ability, you will or you will not use your own curricula, your own knowledge to teach your children. You will or you will not use the example that the system has provided. Now, they'll provide it, don't mean you have to accept it. And we also like you to know that you can teach your children yourself, which I already mentioned, or you can have someone else teach your child for you. Another freedom is the travel and learn. So the children don't have to learn just only strictly in the home. The children, you can teach them in nature. If you have a business trip and you need to travel to another state or another country, you can take your child with you. You can also remotely teach your child as you are on your way, and or if you're at home and your children are out abroad, then you can teach them remotely from home while they learn abroad. So if they're traveling with a family member or whatever the case may be, there's the life is the classroom. Wherever they go is the classroom. Do not, okay, you will or you will not restrict your children to the home classroom desk and chair environment. Quantiera, I mentioned her earlier, Peace and Love Matriarch. She is an organizer. She's a creator of this event. And again, for her or anyone else who has contributed to this lecture tour, you can come on and speak. You want to speak and be on the panel, I would greatly appreciate your presence. There would be so much value that would be added to the content. And I appreciate you. If you would, but you're busy and you're unable to, I appreciate you either way. For all of those who are contributors to the event. And also, we want you to know about the ease of transition from your local school. It's not complicated at all. It's not. It depends on, and we also will have a section for each state as well. So each state depends on which state you're in. Of course, the homeschool experience varies. Here in Indiana, I probably spent 15 minutes on the internet. And I also just needed a withdrawal form paperwork for my son from school. And I got a homeschool number from the state of Indiana, and there I was. Some people operate on the not contacting the state at all. There's another way to do it without contacting the state and being under that structure of the system and being done with it as well, with the ease of the transition from local school. My oldest granddaughter recently, her mother, I gave her the same links I used and told her how easy it was. I've been telling them how easy it is. And she sent me her homeschool number because my granddaughter didn't need a withdrawal form from a school because she has not been to a school. So my daughter had it easier than I did. It's not complicated at all to teach your children yourself. And that's our message. I'm not going to tell you anything I haven't done or something that's similar to what you will have to do. And if there's anything that you're unsure of, you don't know how, you have any questions, you can contact me. You can contact me. If you have my phone number, we'll talk. Facebook Messenger, we'll talk. I would not lead you. That's why there's some topics I have not spoken on yet, because I have not completed the journey myself enough to know if I fall, y'all not falling down the hole right behind me. I need us to be on a steady, secure path. All right, moving forward. So also, when you have the environment where you have more than one child and you're teaching different age levels, there's a collective environment where you can all learn from each other. So there's no need to separate a 7-year-old from a 14-year-old in the learning environment at all times. Now, sometimes, yes, it's necessary, possibly, but there is no need to, well, I don't have space. I got 4 children. I have 5 children. I have 3 children. I don't have a room for this one and that one, and they can all be in one space or a shared spaces. Don't overthink it. Don't talk yourself out of it. You will or you won't do it. And I will be speaking a lot more on school and our children's knowledge in my 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time broadcast to this evening. Also, some of us during the making of this event found out there are different homeschool types. I was like, what? That's a type? They got a type? There's a type. Okay. So we have the remote school type. We have the elective home education type, also known as EHE. And we have, and I'm reading from this side right here. We have unschool. That's a homeschool type. So when we were setting up this event, and it was Shay Yu mentioned unschool. And she was just saying unschool. And anyone who knows Shay Yu knows from her writings that she types, she verbalizes, she speaks, she writes in a manner, the English she uses as less as possible. So as I was saying homeschool, we were saying homeschool in the meeting, she kept saying unschool. So in making a flyer and further study, I saw that unschool is an actual type. It's not something she made up, it was something she was referring to. So in the making of this event, I've learned some things myself. As I said, this life, this world is a classroom environment, which means long as we're here in this life, we're going to be learning. So there's no such thing as, the saying goes, you're never too old to learn anything. And that is the reality. I have yet to see it be any different. If I have a voice and an outlet and the day comes and I find out I got too old to learn something, I will let you all know that it's done. It's over. There's no more learning here. I will let y'all know. I promise I'll share if I have a voice and an outlet during that time. Also, there's autonomous learning and the homeschool cooperative. So again, if you like, this event is Saturday, September 18th in Columbus, Ohio. It will start at 3 p.m. and it will be until. This event, we have decided that we are going to, after the lecture and coming together and the people who are there viewing, and then we have the people who are viewing remotely via YouTube who buy those tickets, that after all of that, we are going out into nature. We're going on a walkway in Columbus, Ohio, and we're going to be studying that as a collective group to add to the content of the finished book that we are creating for our people to be able to guide you on your journey to homeschool, unschool your children during this evolution. And also, how did I see a comment? Keisha from Facebook, peace to you. Can define the phrase unschooled to your ability. Oh, you want me to define it for you? I think that's what you're asking me. Hold on.
Define the phrase unschooled to your ability. So I would see it personally. I'll look into it, but me personally, when I see the word unschooling, it's meaning like literally just a deprogramming of the way that we were being taught, learning about what they want us to learn when it comes to dealing with uh, what's that called? Social studies, U.S. government, all that other crazy stuff. Certain type of mathematics, science, in a sense, depending on how far you want to go as far as like physics and things of that nature. The way that we learn is totally different than what most kids learn. That I kind of learned the two from looking into the Professor Dr. Gabriel Ibo when he presented his presentations that I was part of. Well, one of his lectures that I became a part of, I should say. I understood where he was going at when it comes to their grading system. The way that they grade us is that even though they may give us a D in something, we're actually being graded as a high ranking B. The reason why they put those type of uh, uh, um, uh, grading algorithm is to what's that right word, to degrade us or degrade the children, so they can either put us in special needs or um, gifted classes. But certain gifted classes are not the ones that we think that are, you know, we think of kids is on a special bus and things of that nature. But most of those kids are actually geniuses. Well, all kids are geniuses, to be honest. But from unschooling, is just more so put it in the direction of, if we want to advance a child, let's not start them in we can start them in certain basics, but in a sense of starting them where it is pushing them towards a career that fits them. That's what I would think unschooling would be to me personally.
Gratitude. Now, right quick, because Ramutef had mentioned the careers. So, again, those that are involved in, there are 7 of us. So we have Mother Matriarch Salima Ellis. She's a creator of this event, as well as Shay Yu. And we have Quantiera and Shima, or by Astet Heru. And we also have Cherie Reed, El Messiah Code, and Ramutef Qeb himself, and myself, and me too. All right, so between the 7 of us, we have come up with this event, and we are creating a book, a finished product. So this is something that we will be working on even after this event. So right quick, before I continue to my point, if you would like, so you, for example, Keisha, or this Keisha, I'm saying both y'all names right. If not, apologies. Would like to come to this event, and you looks like you have questions, and I'm gonna talk on that too. You want to come to this event, you can come, and you will not, you want to contribute, you're going to add value. You do not have to purchase a ticket. You bringing that value and assisting us in getting this message out, and our children being in a better environment, a better place, is more valuable to me and to every one of us of the 7 than the fiat for a purchase ticket. We would rather have your feedback at that table. We'd rather have your questions at that table. And so for example, Ramutef Qeb he's a creator. He's bringing the masculine aspect energy, and he does not have any children. So the questions that he presents is value. We have each level, like we in our creator group, we have matriarchs whose children have graduated from homeschool. So we have from Ramutef who does not have any children, to the matriarchs who have graduated children. We have the range in between. We've done our best to make sure we can't have it all. We have a great range right there. And so Ramutef, for example, with the value he brings to the table is the questions. And with his questions of homeschooling, he will be better prepared before his children get here to homeschool his children. Some of us, we had the children, then later came the homeschool. So the viewpoints that will be presented will be from those two perspectives and many more. So my message right here in brief is, do not think that you don't have anything to contribute. For example, because you don't have children and we're talking about unschool, homeschool. You matter, your voice matters. It applies somewhere in this event and in this creation that we have. So Ramutef also will be bringing what he mentioned in brief just now, the astrological viewpoint, the individual astrological viewpoint of your child, and how you will know what their career or their livelihood will be as adults, and how you can prepare them along the way to support them in that, with that in life. So I'm asking Ramutef right now if you would speak more on that, and so people will know to support my claim that you don't need children to participate and add value to this event, and also to let them know in the finished product what it is they will be receiving in regards to knowing ahead of time and based on their child's astrological sign, how to support them as adults in regards to their livelihood. Gratitude.
So to clarify that, so one thing that I started looking into was like, I had a couple of the Hemets who reached out to me to, figure out how can they sync with their child, right? So the one thing that I was looking at first was how I view astrology in a sense is dealing with the third house and as well as Mercury, and then also Neptune as well. And depending on the placement of these placements, let me start over. Depending on where these planets are in these placements, will help define how their mental capability is, in a sense, when it comes to the things that they're witnessing till they, get out on their own. Also, there's a thing that I've seen as far as dealing, like I described earlier, dealing with your rising sign, your sun sign, and your moon sign. So each sign that we know, everybody has a possibility. We all know that we're all the signs, but there's certain ones that help us, you know, project more of a comfortability level of which career we should be sitting in. And that's dealing with your second house, your eighth house, your 10th house, so on and so forth. But when it comes to the signs that are in there, say for instance, you have a Aries rising child with a with the sun in Gemini, and then the moon is in, let's say, Sagittarius. So the thing that you will look up is those astrological jobs, and you can do that online yourself, and they're going to show you what occupations would fit best for these type of signs. But you got to remember, you're going off of three different signs. So what I started coming to find out, even with myself and other people's children, is that certain jobs or certain occupations or certain careers um, line up. They have like multiple of the same thing. So, process of elimination, if you see two or three of the same thing within these signs, um best believe if you put your child in college and they go for that career, they're not going to switch their major, because that is something that they're truly into. And then you put the other aspects, like say for instance that the child is an Aries, has an Aries rising, so that's a child that stands out on its own. It's a born leader. Most areas are people who can run businesses. But at the same time, this person likes to sing, because, or not even necessarily sing, but we'll just say likes to be a public speaker, likes to deal with communication because of his Gemini sun. Then it has that Sagittarius moon, so it's dealing on a spiritual level, or where their energy is coming from. The type of level of knowledge that child is going to start seeking is in a whole different bracket than most people, like in different ranges of higher philosophies, things of that nature. So you put those things together, that child could be, if you want to still stick with dogma, that child will be a great preacher. That child will be a great motivational speaker. That child will be a great construction worker, things of that nature. Anything that's dealing with communication, that's deep within their soul, and dealing with certain ways for them to speak on their own philosophies, things of that nature, or trying to travel in different parts of the world. You start to put those occupations together, and you'll be like, all right, so my child wants to be a archaeologist, right? You can see that in your child, but what type? Or is it for dinosaurs? Is it for this? Is it for ancient culture? Is it, going for artifacts? Is it the mentality of Indiana Jones and less and the Raiders of the Lost Ark type thing? Like, these type of aspects will define this child. My advice to everyone is that do not do not interrupt the flow of how they're going to grow. Your only mission is to play certain things. Like when it comes to a toy, most kids right now, in a sense, especially young boys, especially geniuses, in a sense, they did a study on it, is that most kids who are geniuses gravitate to dinosaurs. It's a weird thing when they start to go from dinosaurs to kaiju's like Godzilla and stuff, and then they go straight to Power Rangers and so on and so forth. But understanding what they're actually viewing is that fantasy that they're actually going to bring into reality, and then from that, it's like when you start, like for instance, like back in my era, back um when Power Rangers first came out. It was dealing with these adults, actors who are posing as teenagers who are giving out certain life lessons. Within those life lessons that we're supposed to take on, that they're trying to give, even though they copy from the Asian version. They took the clips from the Asian version and try to make their own thing, which I thought was funny. But if you go to the Asian version, then you're going to see something totally different. But at the same time, um, the things that they were trying to project to build, and why they're so big, and why that franchise is so still continuing, even though it's been out way before, so on and so forth. But to get back to the topic at hand, understanding that each child has these three specific signs: your rising, your sun, your moon. Within those, there's occupations for each one. I would tell people, go online and just say best jobs for an Aries, best jobs for a Leo, best jobs for so and so, and then you do elimination of process. Once you find out, like, all right, so now you know what type of way that this child is going to. If this child is a Leo, in a sense, might want to put into drama classes, things like that. And then if it's like a Sagittarius rising, then you understand that this child needs to be raised within a spiritual, a great need for a spiritual system. Then let's say that the moon itself is in, let's just say Virgo. So we understand that this child has a very deep connection with nature. So if you put these two things together, this person could be some kind of actor or some kind of a TV star, in a sense, that's dealing with nature, like the crocodile hunter and things of that nature. So it's like there's multiple things or multiple aspects to the child that we can guide our children into the right direction. We have all the support from myself and others. That's how they say the um, it takes a village to raise a child. So in a sense, what we're doing is bringing that type of system into fruition, where we're teaching us and our people how to homeschool so we can get them out of this prejudice system, so they can grow into something greater than most have done. Because we're not, like, again, we're not here for everyone. We're here for people who are literally ready for this type of knowledge, ready for this type of drive, ready for this type of movement. Because there's a lot at stake when it comes to our children's future. And for me, learning these different divination practices, I see where it can go to. A lot of people are like, "Oh, why would you do that?" The reason why for it is because it's very needed. So as I'm learning from the Hemets and learning how to guide my own child from the structures that I'm going to learn from this event, including to my own astrological um, abilities, once I start to give life or bring life forth into this world, I understand how to go into the right direction with my own child as well as other children as I get to that stage.
Gratitude for sharing that. Okay, so this is the information I received when I realized in the study for this event that unschool was a real thing. Well, if we say it is real, but it's not. I thought Shay used creative self because she creates words and language. I thought this was something she had herself, which is unschool. So unschooling is an informal learning that advocates learner-chosen activities as a primary means for learning. Unschoolers learn through their natural life experiences, including play, household responsibilities, personal interest and curiosity, internships and work experience, travel, books, elective classes, family mentors, and social interaction. Often considered a lesson and curriculum-free implementation of homeschooling, unschooling encourages exploration of activities initiated by the children themselves, believing that the more personal learning is the more meaningful, well understood, and therefore useful it is to the child. While courses may occasionally be taken, unschooling questions the usefulness of standard curricula, fixed times at which learning should take place, conventional grading methods and standardized tests, forced contact with children in their own age group, the compulsion to do homework, regardless of whether it helps the learner in their individual situation. The effectiveness of listening to and obeying the orders of one authority figure for several hours each day, and other features of traditional schooling in the education of each unique child. So this is in Wikipedia, as you see, and more information is available, but this was the source I used myself. And here we have Asbaz Ted Haru joining us. Peace to you. Hamet Dua Duawu, she speaks peace to the Ramech. Ramech is the family. And again, I'm gonna leave her up here for a minute because she's not been here. And I've mentioned her name, didn't have a link for her. So, and Hamet, you as well, asked if you'd like to come join us on the panel and speak to us about the homeschool, unschool evolution, and or your contributions to this event as one of the 7 creators. We welcome you to do so. And even if you may be busy right now, so at any time during this broadcast live, you'd like to come on, we will have you on and hear the value that you'll add. It does not matter what we're talking about or what event we're covering, and then we'll continue on after you have added your value to today's broadcast. So I appreciate you joining us and your time as well. And let's see what I was going to talk about next. Let me get the screen back up here.
Dog there. I want to be like I triple dog dare everybody. Come on.
Triple dog Darren.
Triple dog.
Go ahead. Messing with them Hamets like that. They call you on your bluff and you be up here like, what, Ramutef?
Yeah.
All right.
No, I agree.
Okay. All right. So we have vendors for this event. We will have food and merchandise vendors for this event. And as well as right quick, the vendors for the Pittsburgh event. If you have been a vendor at one of our events, you have a discount that will be applied to your vendor's fee for these events for Detroit, Pittsburgh, and Ohio. All right. So just wanted to share that right quick. And also a note here at the bottom, childcare is not provided at this event. So we will be at the creation and development table. Some people work, the children in the environment, it work well, it helps influence them and, hands-on and other things. We're ready. Ramutef, hold on. I don't know if she addressing you because you double dog dared her. She said she ready when you ready. Or she talking to both. Come on, Hamet. The link is in the description. And join us. We're here. Definitely. And yes, so this childcare is not provided at this event. I just must say. We are speaking about the children, and we are coming together at this event we will be at the creation and development table. So we will be preoccupied with creating and developing for our people and our children as overall. So we'll be focused, and then we'll be in conversation and communication, because again, we are coming to the table to bring a finished product. So we, sometimes in environments and there's children, we look out for each other's. Like Ramutef looked out for my granddaughter. Him and Aspas Teharu, they both looked out for her while I was on the broadcast and other things. Instead of, my granddaughter sitting by my side or being in close proximity, she was able to venture out a little more, because these two were watching over her. So, but this environment is not going to be the setup for that. There will not be, toys or this just not the environment. I don't know how else to say it. I'm not even going to further go into that. This just not there. Again, as this flyer says, childcare is not provided at this event. It's not provided. All right. So while we prepare for us to come on, Ramutef, you have anything else you'd like to share?
Yeah, well, yeah, because like a way that got me like really into it was for your granddaughter and her son. The way,
Our son.
yeah, our son and your granddaughter, and how your granddaughter, she was like, she was just amazed of the tools that I brought. You know, I was just like, have you not seen one before, or have seen one? Have you ever touched one before? And that's like dealing with the singing bowl, because that's the first thing she was like, wow, like, because of how big it was, really. And then just playing me, her watching me, you know, clear the energy and adding energy to the certain items that I was using. She wanted to just try it. And I was like, hey, you want to try it? And she was like, yeah. And she went to it. You know, she did her best at first. It was, it was kind of rocky, just a little bit. But at the same time, she tried it out. She enjoyed it. And most of kids out here that I've seen on videos, most of their parents are doing the singing bowl for them, right? She's still in the process of learning what it is and what it's used for. And that's the part that really was like, wow, like that's amazing for uh for a young child of her age to really gravitate to I would just call it in a sense a spiritual tool, or just a way of meditation, or a way of clearing things. And I had a smaller one and a big one. I taught her how to use it. But the one that really got me is how much she gravitated to those oracle and tarot cards. That piqued my interest with her, because she was like, yo, can I do this? Can I do this? And I said, yeah. So I let her go. She tried to shuffle. It was funny. But at the same time, she was just like, what's this? And then for her own energy to be on those cards, and those cards were telling me basically what the cards were telling her, which was pretty funny, was when I was telling her, it was about basically getting the confidence to go play with the children that were already there. And that piqued my interest. Like, all right, so she wanted to stay. So I allowed her to play with them as much as she wanted to. From there, when she went out, she was like Xena Warrior Princess. Even though I'm sorry for the comparison, but at the same time, she was going out there like a warrior, fighting with these boys, in her nice little and her nice divine gown that she had on. And I thought that was I thought that was so interesting, because she was really out there, enjoying her time, being a child, and all type of nature. And then when it comes to Asa's son, it was just more so me. Being rough with him, and just like, just being a boy with him, and him just wanting to fight. And then at one time, I want to, I kept, you know, as for me and my age, it's like, all right, I'll play for a little bit, but I keep forgetting that, kids have a lot of more energy than I expected. So it's like trying to play with him, trying to play with around with him, but keep him interested in something. And then it was just piqued my interest, because for one, as everybody know, I don't have children. So me being interactive with others' children and the way that they come and start learning, because I have a very great way with kids. But at the same time, just watching and seeing how they're growing from just the meeting that I had with them for a couple of days, it was very interesting. It was very, very, very interesting.
Yes, yes. Right quick, before we have Us introduce herself, I'm going to share this video from my granddaughter that in her with the ball, the singing ball that you mentioned. Where am I at? Okay.
It might have my house music in the background, so I apologize.
Quit playing. You all right? It sounds great.
Look how you got all that concentration, boy. You hear it? You hear it singing it?
Yep.
Good. See how you do the rhythm? See how you glide it? As soon as you start gliding, it starts to get louder.
Oh, that's not what I want. All right. All right. So now we have Ast by Astet Haru here. Dua Dua Woo. Hamed, how are you today?
I'm awesome. It's sunny in the land, so no complaints this way. How you out today?
My bad. Hold on. Goodness. Okay, go ahead.
I checked to see if that was my Pandora because I was like, it do that to me sometimes.
No, on Facebook you played the next video. I was like, go ahead.
Yeah, they hear you. They hear you loud and clear.
Oh, wow. Come on, quit playing. Okay.
Cool.
All right, so share with us, introduce yourself, tell us all where we can find you, who you are, talk to us about Pluto Nation, gratitude,
all right.
etc.
Peace, fam. I am Aspa Heru, founder owner of Pluto Nation, which is essentially a holistic store where you get fresh fruit jars, spiritual products such as my jubilees bags, which are considered little medicine bags with some protection powder, whatever crystal you want to put in it. Keep your auric field protected. Amongst other things, you can check out the website at plutonation89.com or follow me on Instagram at plutonation89 as well. Facebook is Aspa Ashet Heru. I know that's a lot. Might type that in the description box or in comments so y'all can see that there. I'm the mother of this cosmic prince who was just saying hello. Hassan, you want to say hello one more time? Or you good? He good. He in his tablet. So, yeah, that's me. That's what I do. He keep me busy, as you see. We actually taking a break from doing Uber Eats. So this is literally like divine timing. I was sitting here waiting on an order to come through, and it took like 10, 15 minutes. I was like, you know what, I'm just time out. And then I seen that you was streaming. I was like, oh, let me check it out. And here you are inviting me on. Here we are.
Gratitude. So you share your social media again with us. I have your Facebook and your Instagram.
Okay. Facebook is Aspa Ashed Heru. Instagram is Pluto Nation 89, as well as Miss Lightbright, but instead of the eyes, you're going to use a 1. And sorry, my phone is crooked. It's like I have to hold it the opposite way for it to look right. Like the camera is weird. It's doing some
I
weird stuff.
wouldn't know. It looks right. It looks right. I
Okay.
wouldn't know. All right. So talk to us about your creative role in the Columbus, Ohio homeschool event.
Okay. The creative role that I'm bringing about is really just more so being attentive to the children. I've worked in childcare since 2013, and from my personal experience, as well as being the oldest of like 13, um, from my personal experience with them, the one-on-one, it's just really just sitting down and just listening to them and paying attention, being sure that you're answering them as soon as they come with a question or at least the second time, and yeah, I've just noticed that's what really sparks their interest to want to learn, to want to be educated, to want to explore, um, to want to be social, and not be that little kid off, in the corner. Um, yeah, I feel like it's one of the bare minimum things that we can give children, or they should be given, but it goes a long way, such a long way.
Gratitude, and speak to us about the perspective you're bringing to the creative table in regards to um your because he had talk to us about his age and the age
Mhm.
that he is, um, and also talk to us about where you are at in his curriculum, his level of knowledge, and because that
Okay.
perspective is important as well. Because we have, as I mentioned, some of us that have our children, they recently graduated. Some will be graduating soon. Some are what others would call the middle school age level. A few are in grade school. Let's talk about your child's, where you're at with him, and that is what you are bringing to the creative table for this event as well.
Mhm. Oh, alrighty. Hassad is Gregorian calendar wise, he's 4. Um, but since prior to turning 4, his birthday is June 4th, he would say, I'm 5. And upon me breaking down the math to them, like, look, brethren, you are 4. I was like, well, wait a minute. You are 5, sir, because when you was born at 9 months, technically within, that 3 months, you turned 1. So you are turning 5. So, to me, that sparked a whole intellectual Virgo compartmentalized, unearthing of, oh my gosh, we've literally been teaching our children like a year behind. Um, so where I'm at with him as far as his education is doing him a year ahead. He's quote unquote 4, but he's really 5. So I'm teaching him first grade level stuff. Like, we're working on his reading now. Well, I'm implementing math. Um, Majority of the stuff that we do, it is based off of a tablet or on my phone, but I'm there attentive with him. I'm not just giving him the tablet. I'm not just giving him his phone and just like go on and learn it. It's no, I'm sitting there with him. I'm interacting with him. Um, Working in childcare, that's like one of the no nos in the classroom is, I want to say, they only allow the children to have like maybe 5 minutes of electronic time per day or something like that. But it's like we can use it. We're moving into, if not, we're already in tech the technology age, and there's well, okay, maybe you should sit in the seat instead of doing whatever it is that you was doing to have caused whatever it is that just happened. Yep, because you weren't sitting in the seat the right way. Go ahead, sit in your seat. Yep, that'll do you a whole lot of justice. Sorry, y'all. that was loud to me, so I know that was loud to y'all. But yeah, we're in the technology age where, as you see, they're very versed in it. So it's like you can't take that away from them. We can't act like, that it's not a part of their lives, and definitely need to utilize it. But just be sure that you, as the adult, us as the adults, are just as attentive with them with these electronics, so that they really understand what's going on with it and how to utilize them. Um, is consciously and subconscious. They are picking up on the stuff quickly, and whatever we feel like they're not picking up on, they are absorbing it subconsciously, and it'll kick in eventually. So that's where I'm at with him and his education. Um, I am working. I'm working to get myself financially secure that I can completely remove him out of daycare and have him under my wing 24 hours. Or not 24 hours, but just he's not going to a center for 6, 8 hours out of the day, where I know he's receiving some some education, but it's nowhere near the level of what it is when he's at home with me, because I know they're not teaching him how to read yet. They're not teaching him how to write his name and teaching him to memorize family names. Like we play this game where it's I'ma tell on you. Um, and we go through the whole family. Like I was like, I'm gonna tell grandpa on you, and he'll go, well, I'll tell grandma on you, and we'll go down the line. We're naming cousins, aunties, and everybody. And that to me is a way to ensure that he remembers his family and he knows their names, so that there's no gaps or anything, because most of our family's in Virginia. So it's to me, homeschooling seems to be far more easier than what it is to teach or rear children. No, teach children, because we don't rear them in a center, but to teach children in a center, because there's so many rules and regulations to educate your children in the center. And I'm not bashing centers, but it's so many rules and regulations that they take the joy and comfortability and the natural innate want for children to want to learn. So that's where I'm at with it.
Gratitude. And Ramutef, you have something you'd like to add? Oops. Okay, there you go. I can't hear you.
No, can you hear me?
Yes.
Um, no, that was on point, because when it comes to dealing with our children, again, the from what I'm
Mhm.
and knowing and learning is that, yeah, we definitely gotta guide them in a whole different direction, because the way that things are going down, and this is dealing with looking ahead in time and understanding that they're trying to place us in these weird box, and then on the great side of everything, that they are giving us the opportunity to do these things. So while these kids are being stuck in a certain environment and being on these computers, in a sense, I notice how much of a downgrade this has been for a lot of children that are not how they say fortunate or fortunate. From saying that, I started seeing, like, okay, since a lot of these kids who are unfortunate are not able to get these type of um, or have the needs, or the parents having the income to supply certain things that they require us to have, for us to require to get them Zoom so they can be in a class with a person that we probably haven't even met yet, and we're allowing them to teach our kids at a level which is going to be boring as hell. All you're doing is telling them, "Well, talk. Here's the paperwork that's on this program. Do it yourself." At no time are you teaching them, because the way that they're teaching these kids, from the ones that I've seen so far, from experience through this whole so-called lockdown thing that we had, it's not working for them. A lot of these kids are being passed just to be passed, because that's they try to do that to us back when I was growing up, in a sense. Like, they wasn't focusing on our education. It was just more so like, all right, we're just going to pass this child, because we're not really trying to have them. We're trying to make them go into that prison school to pipeline system, in a sense, because everything's a cash cow to us. Now that we're interfering with that and actually taking our children's education seriously, as well as our own, because we're not only teaching them, we're teaching ourselves at the same time, or even brushing up on things that we weren't even aware of, because we already know now that the stuff that a third grader is learning is damn near what a seventh grader is learning. And then, like, from how I grew up through both public and Dodge schools, when I went to the Dodge schools, I was way more advanced than those kids that was in public schools, and all because of how they structure us in a somewhat college style learning. But it was in mixing us from those they had kindergarten all the way to sixth graders, and then seventh graders dealing with all the way to the seniors. So the type of environment that I grew up in, when it comes to dealing with those type of schools, it was on that type of level, dealing with those 12th graders, because they kept us all together no matter what. I mean, there was, like, some misconstrusions here and there, because us youngins trying to deal with those people so-called older than us, in a sense. You have those type of issues, but those are given, because not a lot of us are built off of that type of structure. And then for us to have um, this type of way of learning, we'll be able to bring about so many things of them learning who they are before they even bring them out into the world. And when we bring them out into the world, they're going to be ahead of their time.
Indeed, definitely. And speaking of time and consideration of time, I know you joined us. You're taking a break. Is there anything you want to share, just in case you have to pop off? You have to not pop off. You have to leave the studio. Is there anything you must share before you leave that you want us to know? So just in case we have that knowledge before you leave, because we might get another screen, Ramutef might be talking, and you have to leave us. Is there anything you'd like to share in the event of?
You gotta unmute your mic.
Did you mute? She's unmuted. Now she's muted again. Did you unmute your mic? Okay, you're unmuted, but I can't hear you. And that happens sometimes. So I hear it now. Okay. I hear Hassan. I don't hear you.
I can't get my mic to unmute.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
Okay, there it goes. I was saying I can unmute. I think you did it. But no, I think I've shared all I need to share, other than just you. It's unmuted now.
Yep, you're unmuted. But I can't hear you.
Oh, I think I got it this time.
Yep, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, there we go. I was saying, no,
It might be the connection, or it's switching between the either. If you got to hook up to your car, untouch it from your car.
Yeah, because her mic is muted.
Or hop off and hop back in, because it might be your signal too.
Okay. And I know right now I'm gonna speak on some of her products because I have her ticker running below. Pluto Nation. She has a product and I bought it in bulk, and I'm glad I did in a degree, in a manner, because if I bought them one at a time, I would have kept buying them. At the same time, with having all that product right there, me myself, it's my fault. I just had to have it all the time. It was something else. It was an experience. It's flavored. I'm gonna say that. And with peach, the mango was my favorite. Y'all go over to Pluto Nation and look at her products and get what compliments you. But me myself, I had to pull back. I had to let it go, because I would have lived off that product only. I'm telling you. Sure. And yeah, that's all I had to share. And then there was the oil. There was an infused oil she had. I used on my skin. It smells so great, and it was beautiful. And it actually came complimentary with my purchase. So I don't even use oils in those items on my skin, but it was a tribute, so I used it. And such as Ramutef Qeb had, I got shea butter from him, so I used that in my hair. I used it in a spot for a purpose, right here.
Mm-hmm.
Ramutef, can you talk to us about that raw shea butter while we're talking?
Yeah. So under certain practices, I was learning under an IFA, dealing with the Orunmile or the Orisha name Obatala. And one thing about Obatala is what I learned from those who've been teaching me and my doing my own research as well is that he's the king of the white cloth, and white shea butter is something that is used with him. So it's also white shea butter is used for other purposes, health and cosmetic as well, but it can also use it as a spiritual. So there's a form that I was learning that I've been using. Um, I'm gonna use the term anyway, religiously, because it's something that's been helping me calm my own personal anger and calming what is called your ori. So what I would equivalent the ori, which is ORI, but there's like abbreviations and hyphens and things of that nature when you spell it. However, the ori to me is your crown. So if you're when your crown is like all over the place and the energy is sporadic, there's methods that you need to use to calm it because it's on fire in a sense, or cosmic fire. So what I was taught, and as well as I give as a practice as well, is you will take just a little bit of the shea butter, place it on the center or the mole of your crown of your head, or that, how do you say, that soft spot in your head. That's where your crown is at when it comes to on the physical level. That's the entry and exit point where a lot of the spiritual downloads come from, not just from the back of your head, but from right there itself. And your ori in that tradition is its own entity itself, because that is you, your higher self as well. When you cool your ori, you'll take a little bit of the shea butter, you would rub it on this on the top of your head. There's other things that you could do, like place water, drips of water, like in the sense of baptism, and then you also cover your head with the white cloth. For me, as I'm getting to that level, what I have doing is just on the basic level, because not a lot of people are aware of certain practices. So for myself, there's certain things that I know I must do when using that technique, but there's always a beginner's level in a sense, or a novice level. That novice level is when you need to cool yourself down, or cool your ori, or your crown. Take some of the shea butter, rub it on the center of your head, take a little drops of water, put it on, wrap your head up, and you, how you say, go into a meditation form, or others, they will pray, and they will pray for the ori to be cool, for your for your alignment to be great, for you to be at zen within self. So those type of practices I'm gonna start giving out, just little jars of just pure white raw shea butter for those who are seeking that, as well as the techniques that I've learned just by melting my shea butter and learning how to infuse it with certain oils and certain herbs to bring about a certain cosmic coating that you will be placing on yourself. And then I'm getting to the level, like as I wanted to at the Rampet, where I was going to basically show up with a big old pot and allow people to make their own scent. I have a whole bunch of oils, whole bunch of herbs that if you tell me what you want in your shea butter, that's what's going to be in it. That's accustomed to you because you customize it. What you feel that you want to smell and feel, because each herb has its own um, holistic properties that can heal your body from certain things. Like let's say what basil is like a used for in sense of inflammation. So and then so is spearmint. So what I do with certain people with the spearmint, I make sure I put enough spearmint where when they can use their, not only the shea butter that I gave them to just to moisturize their body, but at the same time, if you have like a sore or inflammation in certain parts of your muscles, you will take that shea butter and you rub it in that specific area, and it's going to do its job, which is to target the area, target whatever problem it is, and takes it out. That's just in my own personal studies, because of dealing with alchemy and things of that nature. I learned how to infuse those oils and certain natural products together very, very divinely. So eventually I'll put it out there on the market, but if you're in person in front of me, I'm always glad to take orders and go that route as well. But at the moment, I'm just having my fun with it, experimenting like crazy because, you know, I'm like a mad scientist when I'm down in my lair. But yeah. But yeah, that's definitely something that I got hip to along the lines of my journey of, you know, awakening the people.
All right, and gratitude for that. Right now, I have a message from Asba Asted Heru. Her phone had overheated, so she's outside, and I'm imagining her phone was in the dash because that's where mine's at when it overheats in the car. Either way, her phone overheated. She said that she wanted to request that the family come out. This was what she was saying when we couldn't hear her. She requests that the family come out and support and show up with what they're ready to share. And I'm going to speak for her because I'm sure she would say peace to the Ramutef, the same thing she said when she came into the room and she addressed everyone here. So what I'm going to do my best to have done before this broadcast is over, because I can't edit afterwards, is share. I have a women's business expo, part 1 and part 2. And in one of those videos, I featured her products from her business, Pluto Nation. And also for those who were at the Detroit event, her products, she was there with her products as well. And I know she's been at events where Ramutef was at, events for Ramutef, and she will be at events during my lecture tour. So if you're at the lecture, and it's possible you'll see her there at any one of my lectures, this starts in August, you will see her and her products there and get your products in person, and you can speak to her in person there as well. So I appreciate, as I've told her, I appreciate her for coming on and sharing, and gratitude to her, and I appreciate her time, and her and Hassad, both of them, their time and willingness to come on the panel and share. I appreciate it very much so. And peace to you as well, Asba Asted Heru. All right, so let's see where we're going now. So I think for this event, this is all that I needed to share and I want to share at this time. And so we are going to go ahead and talk about the last stop on my lecture tour this year, which is the magic event. So I was in Detroit recently for a similar event. It was on magic, and I have been asked to come again to Detroit and speak on magic. So I am coming. I will speak, but at this event, as with all of my events, I'm making it known, I would like to say well known, that I am not coming to where y'all can pay and sit and listen to me. You can sit and listen to me for free on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you see me at, wherever you know me at, wherever you watch the videos at. When I'm coming, you paying to come see, you come into an event where I'm at, there's going to be some interaction. There's going to be from the audience, there's going to be interaction from the participants. You're going to see and hear more than me. Now, if for some reason somebody want to pay for an event and see and hear just me, contact me. We'll talk about it. But I'm like, you can do that for free, like you're doing now. Whatever it is you want to know, just me, myself, I can tell it to you for free right now here on the platform. But if you want to pay, we'll address it. I don't know, because there's people who I teach classes, private classes, and I don't pay people for those. They give me tributes, they gift me, and we go from there. If they want to, it's voluntary. But I'm not about to have nobody having people pay to listen to just me. That's not me. We're not doing it. So either way, yes, I am going to be in Detroit October 16th. That is on a Saturday as well. All of my events are on a Saturday, and this event is at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this event, unlike the other events, will actually be outside. Magic in us is nature. It has a nature characteristic. So that's when we're going to be outside. And it's going to be in a gated area and secure. And so this event, like Ohio, and Ohio's the start of the events where the participants will come without a ticket. You don't purchase a ticket. Your ticket will be what you're bringing to the table. We will be coming together, even though it's called Matriarchal Magic. The patriarchs will be there. Men, you can come out and participate with us as well. It's just that this event has been put together by the matriarchs. So that in part is why it's named Matriarchal Magic. So we are all bringing different tools and types of magic, and we are sharing with each other and learning from each other. And since we're outside, we will have a few activities going on that you may definitely want to be a part of. So I suggest when you come that you are comfortable, you dress in a comfortable manner. I'm telling y'all that. And right now I know based on what I have planned to wear, I may look like I'm not going to go manage. I may look like I'm not going to this type event. I may look like I would be uncomfortable, but I'm going to be very much comfortable. Don't even worry about me. I'm going to be okay. I'm coming dressed in a certain manner, and I'm still going to get down in the grass, and we do what we do, and we bring in the magic to the table. You come and do that. We will also have vendors at this event. So again, if you vended at one of my previous events, by the time we get to this last event, then you will have a discount for your vending table at this event. And hold on. For this event, this will not be televised, as some would say. So there are no virtual tickets for this event. No virtual tickets. So I encourage, if you want to know what's going on at this event, you come out and join us October 16th, Saturday, and be there for that. And let's see, let's talk about those that help put this event together. So the magic event, we have Mother Matriarch Salima Ellis, and then we also have Quantiera. She's a creator, organizer of this event, as well as Cherie Reed, El Messiah Code. And let's see. And Shay Yu, where's Shay Yu? And Shay Yu as well is a creator for this event. So as we see and we can hear, there are some who back me up. They're like half of my events, all of my events in some manner involved. And I appreciate the matriarchs for their involvement. I appreciate them keeping me moving forward. I spoke to a matriarch yesterday, involved with this event or not. I'm saying I spoke to a matriarch yesterday, and she had talked to me about how I'm not going to say wish, that's the word I'm going to use because right now I can't think. She want to in life be more like me, and where she could push forward. And I told her, I said, I don't let the illusion fool you. I got days like today is what I told her yesterday, where I feel like I am the only one. I feel like I too am by myself, but we're talking to each other. And so today is a push forward. Today, before I start this broadcast, I was in some kind of way. And this broadcast has helped me come out of that fog. And I appreciate everyone who comes and listens to me on this broadcast. I appreciate everyone that has been involved in assisting me with the success and my growth on this platform and in my lecture tour. And because this has actually been an outlet for me. And based on who I have been and who I could possibly be, without this platform and my voice and the ability to have it as an outlet, I cannot even tell y'all where I would be at in life right now. I can't even, and I don't even want to think about it, because I'm better off right here. I'm better here with all of you, and I appreciate everything that everyone has contributed to my growth on this platform. I went from the Memoirs of a Karmic Dynasty to now Karmic Dynasty. And I'm not sure where I'm going tomorrow or the next day or any other day. And in the meantime, and until then and after then, I still appreciate all of you. And when it comes to the patriarchs, El Moore will, as far as I know, not be at any of these events, but he is definitely a contributor and a creator for some of my events. And really, him and Ramutef Qeb are the patriarchs. They are the patriarchs of Karmic Dynasty, and they are definitely the patriarchs of my lecture tour, so which is Karmic Dynasty. So I appreciate Ramutef Qeb, and I appreciate El Moore for all of the support, the love. Kai Creatress put it out there for me, and virtual hugs, because Kai Creatress comes with the hugs too. I appreciate Kai Creatress and her contributions to Karmic Dynasty and my lecture tour as well. And for everyone I have not mentioned, they're all matriarchs, all matriarchs. I appreciate all of you. And again, when it comes to the patriarchs for Karmic Dynasty is and have been so far across the board, I promise, El Moore and Ramutef Qeb have been from beginning to end. I have there, you've seen me work with some male aspects, but I'm telling you, from beginning to end, whenever that will be, because we are continuous. So from continuously, they are the patriarchs of Karmic Dynasty across the board. I've not had any issues with them, and even issues or opportunities for growth. There's just been this, it's been synchronized. We're synchronized, we work well together, there's the balance, and I appreciate the wholeness that comes from interacting with both of these patriarchs. So El Moore, I appreciate you and your family. Great contributions from all of you and in your family, and let them know that I appreciate them as well. And I'm grateful for the time that you allow towards me and my platform that I say is taken away from your family. I appreciate that. And Ramutef Qeb, the same with you. And the phone calls, the support, everything. I appreciate you both so much. I can't even, the English is about to get on my nerves because I can't even express it in the manner of which I'm knowing it. So I appreciate you both for that, for everything. Honestly, really. And moving on here. Now, interactive, no virtual tickets for Detroit. Come out, check us out. October 16th, Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, until. I wasn't going to put until on the flyer, and I'm telling y'all right now, for this event, you're going to see more than one flyer. Right now, there are 2 for the Matriarchal Magic, the Detroit event. There are going to be more. So, if you see a flyer, it's probably definitely mine. Nobody, is not a scam or some spam. It's probably definitely me. If you see mkdtnt@gmail.com on it, that's how you're going to contact me. PayPal me for your tickets. PayPal.me/Karmic Dynasty. That's all me. all me. If you see anything else, it's not me. So again, you will see more than one flyer for this event. The Matriarchal Magic is special to me. It is by request that I am going here, but highly, highly requested, high demand. I received a, a big follow up from my Detroit visit, and I wanted to go sooner, but I've had things to do with my platform in life where I couldn't make it before October 16th. And what I will say publicly is I will be, all of my other events, I will be there just that day and or the Friday before and the Sunday following. But this for Detroit, the energy in Detroit, it's there. I didn't even want to leave Detroit when I was last there. I am going to be in Detroit October 15th until that following Wednesday, because I need to bask. I need to like be in that energy longer than I was last time. So I will be there October 15th through October 20th. That's the Wednesday. And that's what I have to share about this event. Ramutef, you have anything you'd like to share?
Yeah, I wasn't there for that one, but I'm pretty sure from everything that I say forecast, I kind of pretty much got a overview of the whole event, and then just dealing with the um the title, that right there just says it all. It says it all, because a lot of people are afraid of magic. They um, promote it very well when they talk about, the key term that they use, or the keyword they use, black girl magic, and so on and so forth. Understanding that there's so many different versions of what magic is, but those who are not aware, they're still brought up in the fantasy style of magic, and not actually dealing with the reality of magic. So when it comes to dealing with this event, I'm definitely encourage folks to definitely show up for this one, especially if it's in nature. So it's it's definitely going to be a sight to see, and then definitely with the activities and the I love using the word experimentation. The experimentation of finding that source within a person is definitely worthwhile. So definitely those who are in the city and those who like to come to the city for that event, definitely get your tickets. Definitely show up, show out, but bring the peace that you came in with, because it's all about the understanding and learning. Because as she spoke from the Ohio event, it's definitely something that a lot of us are pushing towards. Me myself, I'm still in the works to see if I can take that trip myself, but I'm still figuring out the way I'll be able to do it, because we got so much going on, girl. You got so much going on. But my mission is to be there as much as I can, support in any and every type of way, because there's a lot that's with this that's going to bring about a bunch of different foundations within each and every one of us who are listening, and those who will also show up. Uh-uh. But yeah, it's been definitely a great journey. This journey itself is going to be a great journey. Just in a few more weeks, you got the week of myself and Elmore's um solo return. So it's definitely going to be a sight to behold for both of us. Shout out to Elmore as well. And then after that, it's just going to just take off. Just it's gonna be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. But hopefully, the people that show up, the people who tune in to this live as well as later, definitely take it in within yourself, meditate on it, and understand that each one of these events is going to lead to something that's created within your own personal destiny. That I can guarantee.
All right, gratitude. Thank you for filling in for me. I was attempting, now, I said I would share Ast by Ast, Het Peru's Pluto Nation, the video she was in on my platform.
Mm.
And I was copying and pasting that because I know. So on a previous video, Makakuvu was on, and I said that I would share his information after the broadcast. Well, after the broadcast, you're not allowed to edit. And so I put it in the comment section. Not sure who got it, were able to get it. So I was like, I'll just do it during the broadcast. Well, right now it's not letting me do it. So I was coming out of error messages to get back on here where y'all can hear me.
Mm.
So on my YouTube channel, Pluto Nation, I shared her products, featured her products on my YouTube channel, Karmic Dynasty. And that video is part 2 of the Women's Business Expo. So you can check out her products on my page. I am a supporter. I've been supporting. I buy her products. I use her products. And or also you can go directly to her links, her social media sites, and message her, inbox her on Facebook Messenger. Instagram has a message area as well. And browse through her page and check out her products and order some of her products.
Oh yeah.
All right.
She definitely got some good stuff. I ain't gonna lie, because
Yeah, I have not had any issue with any of her products.
ever since I found out, I said, yeah, let me try this, and this, and then from the the whole year that I been a client, and just to see that she came out to support what I have out here, out in Pittsburgh. Well, us having a lot of pop ups. She came to 2 of the first 4 of them that we hosted ourselves, and it was just the support that she has given, and just being there and just learning from myself and just learning from others, and the way that people were gravitating to both of us, because out of everybody I was there, truth be told, especially with me, especially with me, I was the odd one. I could definitely tell you, because what person who comes to any of these pop-ups events and literally just there to give divination, to give astrology, to give tarot readings, to give any type of products when it comes to herbs or shea butter, oils, it doesn't matter. Like, who do you know that just pops up at these events and be like, hey, let me see what I can do for you spiritually? And then you have her being next to me all the time, and in a way that the people came back and forth to us. It was amazing. I enjoyed it pretty much. I enjoyed the first one definitely, because it was like they go to her, they came straight to me, because then they're like weirded out with me, because they're just seeing calendars and everything. I'm explaining all kinds of things with people, and then if they came to me, then I'm like, yeah, check her out, because she got the items that you're definitely gonna need after getting done talking with my ass, hands down. Because everybody who just came in touch with me, it was just like, hold on, hold on. Their face. This is their face. You feel me? Like, their eyes is just like, who is this guy? Like, who is this guy? This guy is not supposed to be at these type of events. He's the guy that you're supposed to be in a dark cave somewhere or in a shop with crystal balls and shit. You know what I mean? No, I'm
Right.
not that guy. I'm not that guy. I am that guy, but I'm not that guy. I'm a guy who's out here just basically doing what he loves doing.
Yep.
And if it don't matter in what form, if I have my own store, my own shop, my whatever, I still be the same thing. I still got organization skills that I need to start learning. That's a fact. But she definitely brought that element to me, and that's why I forever am grateful for her showing up to these events. Definitely, because boy, if you'd have seen my table, everybody would have been like, "Yo, what is wrong with this dude?" And she literally organized everything for me, and
Yes.
like, thank you. You make my table look so immaculate. So immaculate. Now,
Yeah, she organized my table at the Boston event too.
yeah,
Yes, she
she's
did.
good at that. She's definitely good at that. I'm definitely like, because when you see her own table, it's just like, huh, what's this for? What's this for? Everything's category. You come to my table, it's just like I don't know what to choose first. What do you do? I come to bring about your divine greatness. That's what I come to do. You know. But yeah, it's definitely a sight to behold. But yeah, everyone, this these events that's coming up, definitely tune in, check it out. I have other ones that we have out here personally out here in Pittsburgh. I'll definitely just check up on my page, and you'll see those flyers as well. Definitely reach out to me either through Facebook or Instagram. Uh, Facebook being Ramutef Qeb, Instagram being Ramutef_Qeb. Just send me a message if you want to get the tickets for any of the events. Reach out to Joy Allen, and also for the one out here in Pittsburgh, definitely reach out to me as well. Either under my email, just either email me at dtaliaferro84@gmail.com, or uh, send your fiat to either my Cash App or my PayPal, and we'll definitely make sure that you get exactly what you need when it comes to that event and any other events that come forward, moving forward.
Definitely. Gratitude. Gratitude. Now, right quick, I am addressing Kes L on Facebook. I appreciate you. I appreciate you sharing. I appreciate you contributing to Karmic Dynasty. Peace and gratitude for you. Very much so. Peace and
Peace.
gratitude. SL. And now I am moving forward to next spring. I am, and I'm gonna say tentatively speaking, I will be starting my 2022 tour. So at this time, I am going to share. I am sharing the cities that I plan to go to starting in the spring of 2021. All right. So I have on my list, and these are the dates are tentative, all that. The I don't know in which order I'm doing what. Some of them I do know. So I know I will be in Atlanta. I'll be in Atlanta, and based on the request that I have, I will be there also outside of my usual Friday through Sunday setup. I'll be there longer than Friday through Sunday. And I definitely will be there more than one day. So I will also be in North Carolina. I will be in South Carolina. Looks like I have planned for August to be in Kansas City, Missouri. And in May, I will be in New Orleans. Also, in the end of May, I will be in New Orleans. The beginning of May, I will be in Mississippi for 2 weeks. In June, I will be in Alabama. Boston, I'll be there the middle of July. I will be in Virginia the middle of July. And then I will be in Boston again the end of July for the Rempet. Next September, I will be in Detroit. I will also be in Memphis, Tennessee. And did I say? Yep, I said Alabama. And that's what I have planned for the spring of 2022. So you want more information, you need exact dates to help you plan and make reservations before I launch the flyer and or my calendar, my schedule. Let me know, inbox me, and I'll get you an exact date to help you prepare. And it's definitely my plan to get my schedule out there, because I know that the closer it gets to the event, things tend to cost more. So I don't want people spending a lot of money to come see me, if at all helpful. So I will get my calendar out as soon as possible. I promise. And so if you would like for me to come to a city near you, I'm on my way. And I really, so the West Coast is the only, after next spring, the West Coast is the only area that I've not been to as of the end of next spring schedule. So looks like 2023 is when I'll be over there. That's my projection. That's my plan. And anybody, any request? I have a few. I know I'll be in the state of Washington when I go. I know I'll be in California, and I know I'll be in Arizona. And anything else, I don't have the request right now, so I don't have a reason to go to the West Coast. And you know, people can request, but I don't know you. We not vibing. I'm not coming just because somebody pop up in my inbox and says, come to Oklahoma. I'm not doing that. I don't have any connections in Oklahoma. I'm not coming to Oklahoma. Right now, West Coast, I am going to the state of Washington. I'm going to California, and I'm going to Arizona.
You might as well go up to Alaska.
Where?
Alaska. That'll be dope. That'll definitely be dope.
Okay. I don't know of any, I don't know that I have a connection in Alaska. I will look at Alaska because that would be dope.
Yes, that would. I'll definitely go for that one.
Oh wow, you'll go for that one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm making a note. I'll look at that and I'll see what I can come up with for Alaska.
Personal reason, more so because my doing with my own story. I always told that my grandfather, when he was in the military, that was one of the places that he ended up going. He used to drive from Seaside, California, all the way up to Alaska when he was stationed in Seaside. Well, no, he was stationed in Fort. Fort, where is that? I have to look at it. I think it was like Fort something. It starts with an A or something like that. But that's where he was stationed, and he would drive in a station wagon from California to Alaska. My grandfather was the truth, I swear. I swear. In a station wagon full of children, boy, I tell you. So that's when I was like sitting there thinking, like, yo, if you go out there, I would definitely go for that one because that's more for a personal. That'll be more for me personally to travel to.
Okay, so I'm making a note. And I'm gonna look at Alaska. So I'll update everyone, of course, on if Alaska's on the list or not. I know the spring 2022. That's a big tour right there, and I knew it would be. So that's why I started earlier. This year, everything came to me at a time where the first event could only be in August. And I'm not leaving Indianapolis driving because I do most of my travel and driving. I'm not driving in or out of Indianapolis after October because weather here is unpredictable and I'm not being stuck anywhere if I can, to my knowledge, and I can help and prevent it in the weather, all of whatever the elements could be doing in Indianapolis after October. So I went ahead and started the 2022 tours in the spring so I can fit as many cities in as possible. And right now, my plan is to start the West Coast tour early as well. Right now, there's 3, maybe 4 cities on that tour, but looks like next year in the spring, that's my biggest tour, and it probably will be. That is a lot, and I know me and my need to recharge my energy, and so I'm gonna make it happen. It's gonna happen with the support of you and others, those who have helped contributed so far. It's definitely gonna happen. And then I have the Brazil event in there in between. So much, and all the possibilities. So again, it's my plan, it's the projection, and I'll update everyone as necessary. And so we are going to leave you in today's broadcast real shortly here right now. I know also I want to invite everyone to the 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time broadcast that I have coming up. And I will be talking about COVID. Ramutef Qeb will be there as well. And it is on the I Am My Sister's Keeper platform, which is an open panel discussion. So the link is in the description. I do think so. If not, I'll make sure I'll put it there. So if anyone would like to come and share their viewpoint or concerns on the topic, definitely join us, and add value is definitely appreciated. And I am Joy Allen, also known as Karmic Dynasty, and some others of us in here. And I'm speaking peace to you all and gratitude. And I'm gonna have one of the two patriarchs close out this broadcast. Ramutef Qeb, if you would, please. Gratitude.
Definitely. Yeah, so thank you for tuning in with us. It's definitely been a pleasure. And again, Anouk Ramutef Qeb. I'm Ramutef Qeb. I am the student of Tesha Para and a master astrologer of the Untitled. I'm a practitioner of all different types of divination practices. And I thank you all for tuning in with us. And we'll see you at 8 o'clock. Atumra Ma'ahotep.